Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Transport, the car shipping business channel. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, you're going to be able to skip ahead. In a minute, I'm going to give the welcome show lineup. If you're watching on demand, you'll see the clickable video time code links below this video, and you can skip ahead. So please do feel free to share, like, tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI. You know, when I started this channel 5 years ago, even though there were plenty of make money car hauling videos back then, what's changed is most of the guys that made those videos don't make them anymore because they either went out of business or they just realized it wasn't worth doing that. But there's a whole new batch in their place. And so now that the get rich crowd has clicked off this video, let's talk about what's being shared, what's missing, and what to really expect. And to do that, we're going to tap into the ATI core with our very first live YouTube video reaction show. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with Ty, Cars on the Move, ATI Carrier Coach, and then we're gonna talk about what this is all about, why we're doing this, and actually, we are really, I want to say the video that we've chosen, it's a good video. Everyone agrees it's a good video, but it's missing a lot of things that could be a problem if you're researching, you're new, and you're thinking, well, that's it. That's all I really need to know. That could be a problem. So we're going to add Ty. We're going to talk about that. And then to go through the video and to talk. And again, the purpose is to really help. For those of you that really want to take a deep dive, take a second look, verify and confirm and validate. We've got Ron Lorenzana of NYC Traffic Inc., Kandy Marr, Jacksport Storage, Lionel Yates, CY Financial Solutions, and Joe Bercari of Midwestern Car Carriers. So please join the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business. Tell us what we're missing and what you want added to the conversation because it's Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Transport. I'm your host, Jay. Welcome back to the show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back again. Tuesday nights live on ATI Auto Transport. My name is Jay. Welcome back to the show. Thank you all so much. Do me a favor, mic check 1, 2, 3. I'm still on the move, but I'll be back in the studio next Tuesday night as Rapid Recon joins us. And let me know if you can see me okay, hear me okay, if the internet's okay. Please do say hello in the live chat. Let's do this. Let's jump in. First, I want you to feel welcome. Please do feel welcome. And again, as we move into this experimental show, I didn't tap everybody on the shoulder. Hey, this is your video. This is this. This is that. Let's do the best we can. Let's try to keep it above board. Let me know how we can help. Please do say hello. Jump in the live chat. Tell us your company name. Tell us your running lane. Tell us what you're looking for. Are you a carrier? Are you a company driver? Are you a broker? Are you a dispatcher? We've got industry news coming up in about 10 minutes. Lots of news. Part one, industry news, is commentary about the industry. Part two is more higher level stuff that I really encourage more folks to learn about and follow. But I'm just one guy with this with a YouTube channel. We're gonna bring in Ty Thompson at 45 minutes. It's about 40 minutes. Ty is gonna join me. You know, every Friday, Ty goes live in the transport parking lot. We talk about connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers, and we're gonna continue that tonight. But we're gonna dive in. This show, actually, tonight's show is a mixture of really everything we do here. And I know the industry's fragmented. I know we're all in our own verticals and it's a free for all. It's every man for himself, it seems like. But we've built an ATI core, and I see you guys tuning in, and we're excited to have a portion of the core here to help review. You know, what are we talking about? What are we looking at? What is happening? Can we do better? Are we close? We have a long ways to go. One would argue we have such a long ways to go that by the time we get there, I don't know if it'll even matter. We'll see. Man, 5 minutes into the show, it's already Debbie Downer time. That's so typical. Do me a favor. Please do click like, click share. I know this is upper level stuff. Click copy. You can share this YouTube link. You can let somebody know. You know it's a long show, right? Super long. You could literally go to dinner and come back. You could fill your truck, park it, take a shower, have something to eat, and I'm still here talking. That you could do. So go ahead and do that. Let somebody know we're live. Oh yeah, you can text Ty, you can call Ty, let Ty know. How can ATI help? That's the purpose. We do really want to help. All right, so let's do this. I'll tell you what, right after this, we're going to go into the live chat, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Everybody wants to be part of a bigger story. Auto transport is a vital part of that story. Vehicle reconditioning starts when your transport arrives at the dealership. The story starts with you. For our auto retail customers, as yours, full satisfaction.
That's Rapid Recon, transparent communication through vehicle reconditioning software. Auto remarketing process management for car dealers. Tell your story. People, process, and software. Visit rapidrecon.com. We got Rapid Recon back on next Tuesday night. We were supposed to have a show a few weeks ago. We had an internet issue. So they're coming back next Tuesday, and then we got some more Cars on the Move coming up where we're going to see Rapid Recon. So that's really exciting stuff. All right, let's do this. Let's jump into the live chat. I got to back it up to the top. Great to see you guys in here. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, because sitting here doing the show, just talking to myself, it's not my goal. This is not the Jay show. May seem like it sometimes, and for that I apologize. Ty says, this is where I get my car shipping business news. Thank you so much, Ty. John Cochran's here, LAI Auto Transport. Good evening, everybody. What's up, John? Keep us posted. Feel free to send in those pictures. Be the carrier on the move. Send it to autotransportintel@gmail.com. And I'll do that. I'll tell you what, I will share. I know you guys know the email address, but there we go. Send in the news, articles, etc. Tuesday's my reading day. I read all day. It's crazy. JLR Hauler, what's up? Hang loose, man. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics, in the house. Jordan DeBras, good evening, everyone. What's up, Jordan? Thank you for saying hello. Let's see here. Chris Chamberlain is here. What's up, everybody? Seen any 10K a week YouTubes? Oh, Mo Frere. Let me tell you, Chris, the one that gets me, and there's another new one, 20K. Well, it's not 20K a week, because my God, that'd be crazy. Although somebody's thinking, yeah, let's do it. 20K a month, like as a standard. Dude, 20K a month on a 3 or 4 car is a good month. That is not a standard. Now, I'm not saying it shouldn't be a standard, but if you're eating off the load boards, dude, no, no. I was at CDL school last few weekends, and let me tell you how many are drinking that Kool-Aid. Oh my gosh, the Kool-Aid, dude. Wow. Thanks, Chris. Oh, here we go. Jordan says R&J Brothers Transport LLC. Thanks, man. Now, what's your running lane? Do you have a website? Keep it coming. I love it. We know Carlos, ACB Logistics. Let's see here. Joe is here. Joe's on the panel tonight. Very lucky to have Joe Bercari with us. It's so cool. Jordan says, I'm looking for better insurance quotes. I'm in the state of Florida. Well, Lionel, CY Financial, he's with us tonight. He loves to talk about insurance. He's going to ask you some hard questions, though. Again, you won't see that in the 20K a month video. JLB Hotshot Logistics checking in. What's up, Jarrett? Seeing more and more Jarrett. That's great. Mark Rodekey's here. Hey, what's going on? Looking forward to a long show. Yeah, I like the long show too, but I get it. I know. I don't know how to shorten it. No idea. Cole, how much can you make hauling 8 cars at a time, rate per mile? AKA, how does car hauling companies compare to van, flatbed, reefer, etc.? Great. Number one, Cole, that's awesome. Because realizing there's a difference is a great place to start. Which I don't think is a big shock. But then it's not just the rate, it's the work itself. It's the customers. It's everything's different. The whole industry is different. So, and then are you going to be a company driver? Are you going to be an owner operator? But I love it, Cole. So I don't actually there's no simple answer. I wish there was. That's why it's such a long show. But if you stick around and watch tonight, I think you're going to learn a lot. So that's really cool. Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. The Country Life with Corey, Trinity Transport Service. What's up? Thank you for tuning in. I really do wish, honestly, I thought years ago this would happen, and I've just kind of gotten used to it, is that there isn't this camaraderie in the industry, not even in one vertical. I mean, I don't know if there is or not at the fuel island, and I don't know if that's why we got to keep up in the K per month that we make. I don't know what's going on, but just to see in the live chat, the Country Life with Corey, it's a wonderful thing. I just really appreciate you tuning in. Even if you just jumped right off right now, never came back, I'd still appreciate it. I'm always surprised when I see anybody tuning in new. Tri-State Specialized Transport, what's going on? What's happening? Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. That's awesome. Thanks for pronouncing my last name correctly. Wow, that's awesome. Jordan DeBross. I think that's what I said. That's fantastic. Thank you. Right. We'll, we'll take. Well, this industry is so fragmented. We'll take correct pronunciation. Yeah, that's awesome. Love that. My running lanes are southeast, southwest, west. Great. How many do you carry? That's awesome. Where do you like to start? Where do you like to end up? All of it, Doesn't have to be too personal. I just ask the question because we always do. Village Dues. Thank you, Kandy. Kandy's ringing the super chat cowbell. That's so cool. We fix problems. And that's part of what me and Ty also talk about is that yeah, we make the content, yeah, we talk, and then Ty talks to people and I make shows. But Kandy, I was just showing, remember top 5 import mistakes? I think that car dealers make. It was a Cars on the Move. It was a Friday show. We had Paul from American AIMEXA, Import Export, America's Import Export. I was showing that video to somebody that was looking at importing a car, and it was awesome because I was like, oh yeah, like we keep churning out so much content that sooner or later it hits a customer. That's awesome. Love that. So cool. The Country Life with Corey says, can you make a let's see. Can you make a 2-car rollback work transporting? Great question. Now, I think the answer, simple answer, the less cars you haul, the shorter your running lane's going to be. It's probably a good simple answer. But we know that 2 years ago with COVID and all that stuff, uh, home delivery and all that stuff, which does not sound, believe me, I get it. If you're a transporter and you hear like home delivery, be like, dude, I don't want to do that. Yeah, but at the same time, this is where if you want to talk to anybody, you can. Because we got some, you're going to want to stick around. Industry news crazy tonight. We got some crazy industry news. So great question. Thank you. Cole, I just completed my application for Central Dispatch in order to get a better idea of what kind of money is available as a one truck company owner as compared to, yeah, well, it's a good idea. Now, set your alarm clock for 3 months. No, I mean, that's on Jay. Uh, Seriously, like we don't know what's going on with Central Dispatch. We don't know if let us know when you hear back. Let us know what month you hear back. Seriously, I don't even know. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. And that's like that's that's the number one load board. Like what? I don't know if DAT and truck stop work that way. I think they'd get back to you. I don't know what'll happen with Central. Good luck, man. Keep me posted. And right now, if you're at Central and you're like, Jay, that's so unfair. Really? Man, okay. Do you not watch Thursday's show, Dispatching Live? 5 Car Texas Pride. I normally start in Fort Lauderdale, which is my home terminal. Keep us posted, right? Because we hear how tough Florida is. And even if you make 20K a month, don't make a video. Tell me I'm wrong, man. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Hey, that was a fun live chat. Thank you so much. Again, Kandy, thank you for your support. Let's do this. Right after this, we're going to go to industry news, so stick around.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S., so you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
As your business grows, I know you need an auto shipping quote and broker software you can trust. Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter by Superflow Systems and move with Pro ABD CRM. Visit superflowsystems.com. Todd said he got on in 30 days. That's awesome. Thank you for that, Todd. And Tri-State is also talking about, as a new broker, waited about 40 days. Other people in my network starting to get approved much quicker. Wait 40 business days to get your account activated. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we've heard rumors that it can take up to 90. It should only take, back in the day, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I was a dispatcher 7, 8 years ago. Back then it took 7 days. Sounds reasonable. You fax it in. You chip away first we would get a tablet, stone tablet, and chip in the, hammer and chip in the DOT and the VIN, now the DOT, you need your DOT, your MC, and then we'd take that stone tablet and we'd fax it. And about 7 days later, through Messenger Pigeon and Fire Signal, they would let you know that you were signed up. Now, I don't know. Even though they have technology and text and whatnot, it takes like 90 days. Now, the more crap that I say about this, I don't know who cares about what anymore, but it seems like if we just, the squeaky wheel and the gets the waffle toast in the morning. Okay. All right. Because we don't want to, man, hey man, if we make too much sense, then none of it's going to make sense. This is auto transport, man. Um Thank you, by the way, Chris, for paying the ATI toll. I really do appreciate that. It's really, really nice. All right. I gotta, the dispatching live came out a little bit there, and I apologize. Let's do some industry news. This is show 245 in a row on a Tuesday night car hauling money YouTube review. It's funny that it hasn't been done before now on ATI because we talk about it. You go to YouTube, right, and you search make money car hauling. And then, you see, stacks of money and all this stuff. And, what's it all about? So what we did is this caught my eye, and it kind of worried me right off. But I got to tell you, this is a good video, and that's why we chose it, because there's some good stuff here. What we're gonna do though is we're just gonna try to make sure that we don't miss some of the corners that might be important. So and right off, this is another thing that I like about this video it is kind of in presentation mode. Many of the videos that talk about how rich you're going to get, it's like a dude standing on the side of the road and his dog's got to go to the bathroom, and it just seems like he's just totally making stuff up. That's the stuff that really concerns me. But this, yeah, no, this is good. We're in presentation mode. That's good. And again, I share. Unfortunately, the long spreadsheet of expenses and constant barrage of shipping surprises make the probability of owning and growing a successful auto transport business into a profitable going concern an extreme gamble. And I don't really know why I continue to do it. Because it's not popular. There's no Kool-Aid drinkers. Here's another one. We just did this. Hope for a simple answer that anyone with a truck and trailer can get started today. Make money car hauling is a big question, but whether you should be an owner or a company driver is a much better place to start. Nope. I would have hit the buzzer. Nobody wants to hear that, Jay. It's a big industry. It's a giant ecosystem, and there's a whole lot more than just a load board. We got OEMs, auctions, dealers, shippers, services, brokers, carriers, equipment, regulations, and loads. Tonight, we're going to focus on the right vertical: carriers, equipment, regulations, and loads, as it applies to pretty much everything other than, new cars. I mean, you might haul a couple new cars, and boy, oh boy, are you going to love it. We connect the back of the store to the front of the store, back of the store, transport parking lot. Maybe the only part of the store in fact, you're not even near the store. You're like, Jay, why are you talking about stores? Well, I'm just gonna keep going because you're gonna see how this kind of fills out. In fact, last week, Auto Transport 22, top companies driving change in car shipping today. Now, why in the world would anybody waste their time on such ridiculous nonsense as looking at the 22 companies in the United States affecting auto transport? I mean, Jay, where's the load board? Where's the 20K a month? Because that's really all that matters. Come on, man. Why are you wasting your time? Why would you put together a list? Okay, yeah, maybe I know the first one and the second one, and let's see, well, the fifth one and the sixth one and the ninth one. Okay, all right, fine. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, and 20. Yeah, so I know a few of those, Jay, but come on, Jay. Oh, it cracks me up. Dieselgeddon. That was 2 weeks ago. I don't have to explain any of that to you, so I won't bother. So this is the stuff that people, and hey, by the way, what's up, Gerard? And okay, cool. Here we go. Keep going. See, we've already lost some. Snooze Fest, other companies. Just tell me how to get rich. No, it's fine. It's a long show. They'll be back. They just went to, Okay. Other than Central Dispatch, what other load boards do I need to sign up with? I want to feel comfortable about getting loads before I jump in feet first. Wow. Where'd you get that idea? I'm not even going to read the rest. Hey, what are lead producers? How do I find more info on this? Now, I like this question. It means we're getting through to somebody. Yes, you definitely want to know what's a lead producer and how do they producing that lead. Because if you're just waiting for your golden ticket, you know, there should be a video called, at the end of this video, you're going to Hollywood. Right? Isn't that kind of where we're at? Because then, like, I'm on Hotshot Trucking and I see this, looking for one more car to haul from North Carolina to Illinois. Let me know what you have for a good rate. Let's read this again. Looking for one more car to haul. Okay, so it's a carrier. Let me know what you have for a good rate. Well, number one, aren't you're in a Hotshot Trucking group asking the question. If somebody has a car they need you to move, aren't they going to turn around and kind of do what the broker does and give you as little as possible? I still don't even understand what this is. But I love the image that goes with it. It's just fantastic. This is why dealers hate transporters. Here, there you go. Go ahead and let's get that tire up in the middle there. Yep. Now, I know this can happen, but if you spend too much time finding out how much money you're going to get on the load board, I think the likelihood that will happen goes up. Just a guess. Every car hauler should call this clown, tell him where to go. Yep, you're going to see plenty of this after you, as soon as you think you're going to make that 20K every month, you're going to see plenty of this. It's going to be hard to get to 20K a month when you see this, and you will. I know memes, they should just be banned. Oh, carrier, that's my best rate, broker. Is it though? Oh, you can't see the bottom. It's what it says. Okay, well, you trust me. All right, roll the video. All right, here we go. Now I'm going to roll this video. Now, I am sorry I had to take out the music, but the music is, you got to know when to hold them. It's on the radio, know when to fold them. But I didn't want to get demonetized, and I'm sorry I had to mute the audio. But this is from Jordan, another Jordan, that watches and knows what we're talking about. Because when you are, man, and that's another thing. I don't know. How in the world do you expect to make 20,000? Is that gross? Is that profit? What is it? I don't even know. Gross. How do you expect to gross 20 grand when every load you call is a negotiation working against you? Seriously. How? Here's one. Hey, available. I can pick up Saturday. Okay, I'll get it. I will update my customer, which means we're going to see if we can get the load because we're just fishing like everybody else. How much are you looking for? 1,200. Can you give me a discount? Right away negotiation. Can you get me $3 diesel? La 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 la. Okay. I agree. Sir, can you do it for 1150? Again, more negotiation, which means you're just wasting time now. Just $50. No, I need 1,200. How about 30? How about 20? Wasting time. You're wasting my time. No, 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 no. Well, that was fun. And here's another one. Boy, Hotshot Trucking is definitely the Facebook group of the. It's where I get my favorite. I don't know. My ETA is my ETA. I will not repeat. I will not answer the phone while I'm driving just to tell you how long it's going to be or when I will get there. We patiently drive to get to our destination, so you must patiently wait. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. or Mrs. Broker. FYI, I started this business for me, not for you. Well, now Now there's the punchline. I started this business for me, not for you. All right. Well, who's your customer? The broker. Okay. Well, the broker has the customer. You're just the service provider. So guess what? You got two other groups that really do want to know where the car is before you pull up at midnight and demand another $100. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be unfair, but you still don't know who your customer is. Because if it was your customer, you wouldn't have said the word broker. Oh, no. It's a view killer, Jay. What can I do if the bond doesn't want to? Oh, what if they don't want to pay? Oh, there we go. That's going to cut into our 20 grand. If the bond company doesn't want to pay for any reason, which they do, unfortunately, I've had it happen. So still give a negative and then call the Better Business Bureau, call Google, call a collections company. That's going to cut into your time. It's definitely going to cut into that 20K a month promise. But you're right. TMI. Oh, and get used to this too. Escalated ratings being closed by Central. So they damage the car. I have proof. And they come back with, well, you disputed the negative. You had proof, you had photos, you had tire tracks. But we've removed the pending negative rating. And you're free to submit this rating in the future. Right? All this, T for 2 and all this. Regards. Oh, God, it's so funny. Have fun with that. 20K a month. Need a 2022 Silverado moved from Austell to Ocala? Get ready for your customers that know better than you how much a vehicle should pay. Boy, that's rich. That is rich. Okay. All right. This guy said it best. LMAO. I'm shuffle. No, that's not. Or how about this? Here we go. The random shipper with a random. Still don't know what that is. What are they doing? Anyways, this car, it rolls, but it doesn't drive, and we still know what we expect to pay. Oh, God. Or, shoot, we haven't even talked about compliance. What happens if I'm driving into California from another state non CDL and I get pulled over? Do we still go with their laws, even though it was totally fine until I got there? I swear, I saw a guy saying, he's counting his dollars. Okay, I made that up to throw off the scent. But I just saw it. 20K a month. No. Is it 20K a month? Man, this guy. I think he said, I'm not going to go with a week. I don't even want to put that out there. Just making it rain, though. All right. Making tons of money, hands over fist, on a 3 or 4 car driving coast to coast. Yeah. Have you looked at, do you realize what happens in some of these waste? Okay. All right. You're right. That's boring. But you will see it. You will see it. You'll see these guys posting this crazy S. Can you contact the maker of the Get Rich video and say, hey, can you help me cover the bill on my out of service? And they took oh, you can't? No, okay. All right. Or worst even yet, your equipment gets stolen. I know it's not popular, but it's happening a lot. In Florida, oh my gosh, it's gotten even worse. Wow. It's Florida, man, lock it up. Oh, here we go. And then if that's not enough, here we go.
Yeah! Whoa! That was nuts.
Okay. So
all right, let's push.
Yeah, let's try it again. You still have your equipment, but what do you do now? Dear Get Rich Quick video guy, Speaking of Run Buggy, they got some investment money. Let's see. Larry H. Miller, Porsche, Hearst Ventures will accelerate Run Buggy's broad market adoption. Hey, check this out. Run Buggy's a technology platform that connects car shippers and transporters. Run Buggy will use the funds to continue to scale its automotive transportation logistics technology and accelerate product adoption amongst car shippers and transporters. Run Buggy launched in 2018, and for the first time ever, Run Buggy allows shippers to seamlessly and securely connect at scale with their existing management systems to integrate car transportation services, reducing costs and improving delivery times for the first time ever. Holy mackerel. Oh, speaking of first time ever, as more people buy cars online, Atlanta Tech Village startup bundles vehicle shipments. It's carpool logistics. The market for automotive logistics is too fragmented, says Carpool Logistics CEO and founder Michael Molokov. It is saturated with small businesses that ship less than 5 cars to auctions and dealerships, all while the industry lacks the technology to optimize transactions for both parties. First time ever. Incredible. Speaking of first time ever, ATA Association's President Chris Spear said he doesn't view the ongoing advancement of autonomous trucking as a threat to drivers, since economic factors will ensure demand for drivers for years to come. Yeah, not a threat at all. Let's keep reading, shall we? He noted that the trucking industry is at a pivotal moment when it comes to the technology, with a lot of key questions being asked. While he acknowledged some division over where automation in trucking is headed, he stressed that the technology has arrived. Wait a minute. I thought we didn't have to worry. It's here. It's undergoing innovation, testing, and deployment, and he has seen it work. Wait a minute. I thought you just said we got nothing to worry about. All right. I'm just reading here. Don't get all up in my face about it. It's not just a discussion point. I actually rode in a fully automated truck, Spear said. Went 60 miles on the interstate in Arizona, hands never touched the wheel. You begin to appreciate the reality in a situation like that. What? Thought he just. Oh, he said he's witnessed the transformation for over the last 15 years. Well, that does it. No, but there's nothing to see here. No, nothing. Right now, we're moving more with fewer people and less equipment, but it will take time. Okay. There we go. It will take time, and change will come gradually. There we go. You will see it occurring in localities and regions. It's already happening. Wait a minute. And the value proposition isn't going to be based on displacing our existing workforce. Why would it when you're short 81,000 drivers already? See, there's why. That's only going to continue to increase as we grow our economy and demand continues to rise. Spear urged the industry to search for ways that humans and automation can coexist, again with the change-up. He pointed specifically, and that's speculation. We would like to apologize to everybody that didn't agree with the change-up, quote unquote. He pointed specifically to autonomous trucks being more suited for regional operations, whereas human drivers will be better suited for long-haul operations. He believes this kind of delineation could help ease and offset the high demand for anxiety. I mean, drivers. By the way, that long-haul stuff, no, I don't agree with that either. But, what do I know? I was a dispatcher once. Speaking of dispatcher once, oh, look at this. Hey, Mark, thank you. Making it rain. What's up? Partying in the... Nobody wants to see that, Jay. Making it rain. Wow, shake my head. One of the reasons why is sure, yeah. Hey, what's up? Oh, Ron is in the live chat. How cool is that? Man, 540. Whoa, hang on to your hats, Ty. Your multiple hats. Hang on to them. We're 20 minutes away, probably. Although Larry will go faster. I just want to point this out. Park My Fleet is looking for a transportation and logistics manager. You'll review. Here's what you're going to be doing. Okay, Transportation and Logistics Manager. It is remote. And given what we just heard about autonomy, you might think about it. At least just give it a second glance. Review inbound vehicles, assess condition, communicate with clients and vendors, manage inventory physically and virtually, manage scheduling, handle disruptions. It's a weekday, Monday through Friday, with occasional, fleet scale, full time. Here's what you're doing: organizing and outbound, inbound transportation between parking lots, cross-dock facilities, warehouses, logistics hubs, coordinating with on-site maintenance providers, coordinating with drivers, transportation providers, ensuring delivery is executed, tracking loads, tracking key performance, updating logistics systems, using technology, filling all digital paperwork, communicating expected pickups, and resolving discrepancies between various inventory management systems. As Ty said it, that is probably high-level dispatcher, which again is why, come on, man. Do not pretend that the role of dispatcher is just an illegal job. It's ridiculous. Stop. Stop. Just have a seat, dude. Send in your comments. Autotransportintel@gmail.com. Let us know how we can help you. This is how you can get your car shipping business news. Name another place where they did that much. Okay. All right, Jay. Stop, Jay. Have a seat. Put it up on the big screen. It's the Car Shipping Business channel. It is now time. If I had my drum roll, we would do it. We're going to do 5 questions. That's right. Step right up. There's 5 new questions. And we're going to go ahead and do the answers because since I'm on the move, there's no show Wednesday. There's no show Thursday. We'll be back on Friday with Cars on the Move and independent dealers. Here we go. Question 1. Which social media platform features the most posts about making money in car hauling? Is it YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook? Yes, I wrote this question. I'm not too proud. Slightly. All right, which one is it? I'm going to read it again because I just want one guess. Which social media platform features the most posts about making money in car hauling? Is it YouTube? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Twitter? Or is it a Facebook? All right, fine. Party of one. It's YouTube. Thank you very much for playing. Okay. What is the most appropriate carrier pay amount to ship a 2021 Kia Forte from Benton Harbor, Michigan to Lacey, Washington? Ooh, now that's interesting. 2021 Kia Forte, Michigan to Washington. Gas prices, June. Yep, John got it. There we go. John got it. It's YouTube. Ty's trying to muck it up with Twitter. That's so Twitter. And we got the answer coming up. So Kia Forte. I think it's probably 1120. It should be 1455 though. So, oh wait, Benton Harbor could be. Is that up north? All right, I'm gonna go 1455. Going once, going twice. Oh, nice. It is 1815. Fantastic. Well done. And if you have any questions about these numbers, Transport Auto Quoter by Superflow Systems, a production of Mark Grodecki. Mark is in the live chat. Ask him a question. There we go. Okay, Larry, here we go. Oh, no, this one's me. Which social media platform features the most posts about selling used car hauling equipment? Is it YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook? See, now this is interesting because is it the same? On one social media platform, they tell you you're going to get rich. And on another social media platform, you buy the equipment of the guy that didn't get rich. See how that works? It's nice. It's a real nice system. Benton Harbor is down by Chicago. Oh, I'm surprised that it was 1800. I mean, I'm glad it was, but I'm surprised. So which social media platform features the most posts about selling used car hauling equipment? Anybody? Is it Twitter? Could it be LinkedIn? Is it really YouTube? Or is it Facebook? All right, I wrote the question. There it is. Lisa! Lisa got it. Lisa CH. Thank you very much for playing. It's Facebook. So you get rich on YouTube and you sell it on Facebook. Revolving door. Interesting how that works now. What is the most appropriate carrier pay amount to ship a 2009 Ford Mustang from Paducah to Billings, Montana? 2009 Ford Mustang. Paducah. Paducah is, what, Louisville? What is that, Shelbyville-ish? Billings, Montana. I'm going to say 1320. If it's 830, I'm going to cry. Okay, good. All right. Whew. But still, and the reason we do this, and thank you very much, Larry, Transport Auto Quoter Llama by Superflow Systems. The reason we do, if you know, like, yeah, let's say you asked the reefer question earlier. This gives you an idea of some of the vehicles that are posted, and this is the rate it gets moved for. It's not what the carrier wants, and it's not what the broker wants. It may not even be what the shipper wants. It's the intersection of what happens. Yeah. Well, now that Facebook's gone into the metaverse, I guess this is just you're gonna get rich, and you're gonna get rich, sell it, and buy it all in the metaverse. I don't know. But it is funny. Go ahead and Google "make money car hauling" and and click on the channels. All of them are new. Like, I didn't see any of the old. It doesn't. When I started this channel, the people that were cranking out the get rich quick videos, not any of the ones doing it now. How is that? That's weird, isn't it? Really weird. Or is it? Oh, bonus question. Or is it? Oh no, this is question 5. True or false? Most hotshot car haulers say the best way to make money is by obtaining your CDL. Oh yeah. True or false? Most hotshot car haulers say the best way to make money is by obtaining your CDL. True or false? And what I really like about this is there is somebody that doesn't know. There could be many people that have no idea what the answer is. Now, for many folks, the answer is clear. So if anybody wants to, Freaky Man, what's up, Vlad? What else we got in here, man? We still, yeah, dude, this is going to be one long show. Wow. All right. Well, I'll just say it is false, because hotshot car haulers, by their very nature of being hotshots, I know, along with all other wonderful titles, hotshot car haulers are non-CDL because they are running with a pickup and a small trailer and not interested in the CDL at all. So there you go. All right, cool. All right, cool. I raise my glass. I toast you. Do me a favor. Stick around, because right after this, we got Industry News Part 2.
Give us a call today.
So you need help staying loaded or moving a car. That's the voice of Sue. She is a fully licensed broker. She runs a dispatch office. She's my co-host on Thursdays on Dispatching Live. Visit murphyautotransportservices.com. All right, here we go. Industry news, part 2. Future of auto dealer franchise law is up for debate. Some states, including West Virginia and North Carolina, have adopted new language in dealer franchise laws to address such changes in the industry as over-the-air updates and vehicle reservations. Jay, you're going to talk about dealers? Yeah, stick around. I think you're gonna find this interesting. Startup electric vehicle manufacturers want to bypass dealerships and sell their cars directly to consumers. Okay. And this shift has heightened tensions between dealers and factories, namely around the nature of a dealer's role going forward. Yeah, this is real. Yeah, this is real. You just stumbled into, yeah, real. Tesla led the direct sales initiative, but it seems like every manufacturer now wants to get on board and break off and have EVs be completely separate. And we don't know quite what they mean, said Bill Cole, president of Cole Automotive Group in Bluefield, West Virginia. Changes are coming quickly for dealers and automakers, and both groups are trying to figure out what the future looks like for their respective business models. Wait a minute, what? Right? I thought we just had a chip shortage. You're telling me the whole thing is changing? Automakers generally have stood alongside dealers in state houses in recent years to oppose legislation that would create exemptions for EV manufacturers, such as Tesla and Rivian, to sell directly to consumers. But some dealer advocates say automakers' recent step, such as Ford's plans to split off its EV business and Volkswagen's as yet unclear plan to revive the Scott brand of electric trucks and operate it independently, send a different signal. There should be a national call to arms. Yeah, but Jay, I'm just looking for a load board. All right. All right. But bear with me because a law firm that represents dealers on franchise law issues said dealers are really being targeted and manufacturers are moving ahead with these radical and revolutionary programs with impunity because the state statutes haven't really been amended in a way that addresses all that's been happening over the past few years. He said the entire future of dealership earnings and longevity is at risk and said the need for action on behalf of dealers is more acute than ever. So before you toast the death of dealers, wait, how will this affect transport? Will what? Okay. Legacy automakers are stretching as far as they can within the framework of existing laws, but eventually will need flexibility, similar to Tesla, which has inspired a generation of EV startups aiming to follow its direct-to-consumer sales model. And here we go. Let's get to it. It's my view that the dealership model, as it's existed for 70 years, is not going to survive, said Daniel Crane, a law school professor who has called for changes to franchise laws that make room for new entrants and here it is, distribution strategies. That would be the auto. Yeah, there we go. There's the logistics, distribution strategies. Just to note, year over year, sales are down 30%. Wait a minute. Don't we move cars to dealerships? Oh, and sales are down 30%? Yeah, that might affect us. But even if it doesn't, Ford could mimic Tesla's strategy of selling directly to customers with a stripped down dealer network in order to meet its lofty EV ambitions. We've got to go to non negotiated price. We've got to go to 100% online. And there's no inventory at dealerships. It goes directly to the customer, said Jim Farley, and 100% remote pickup and delivery and seen. Wait a minute, what does that mean? What is he talking about? The standards for dealers are going to be brutal. They're going to be different than they are today. I tried to find a follow up to this 100% remote pickup and delivery. Couldn't find it. I don't know what that means. In recent years, new automotive OEMs have shown that purchasing cars can be as convenient and easy as ordering a book online. Ta-da! These manufacturers with direct online focused sales models have a considerable advantage over incumbent OEMs with traditional indirect brick and mortar models that we made them spend millions updating. I threw that in. Reduced costs and a better understanding of and communication with customers are the key benefits realized in direct online focused models. Really? So everyone will be just on live chat, listening to 800 number music. Consequently, incumbent automotive manufacturers have started to question, and here we go, here it comes again, their sales models with ambitious goals to decrease cost of distribution. Guess who that is, guys? Guess who's in cost of distribution? Ambitious goals to decrease it. Ain't going to be $20K dollar. In fact, OEMs with a direct and online focused sales model can achieve cost. Now, I realize, pause. This is new cars, Jay. We're still rich as heck on used cars. Okay. All right. Interesting point of view. In fact, OEMs with a direct and online focused sales model can achieve cost of distribution below 10% of gross, whereas incumbent are between 25 and 30. The question is, how can OEMs and dealers optimize their current sales models to benefit from some of the potential provided by direct and online focused sales models? It's the agency sales model. Seriously, there's got to be somebody around like, what are we watching? Right? This is not even close to all the other get rich quick videos. This guy's got to be off his nut. Let's get out of here. Let's just leave. If we don't watch it, then we won't see Jim Farley, the Ford CEO, talking about abolishing dealerships. We'll just click off, dude. Just shut it down. That way we don't know. Months after that news first came out, CEO Jim Farley, doubling down in a speech, confirmed that under his new plan, dealerships would get rid of inventory entirely. Holy mackerel. And Ford pokes Tesla again with the charging adapter. The Ford F-150 Lightning comes with a vehicle-to-load technology that allows powering external appliances, and Ford Lightning owners can now charge neighbors' Teslas when the power goes out. This guy's a hoot. Ford-backed battery startup Solid Power flip switch on new cell production line. This actually may pertain. This could be relevant. Finally, some relevance in all the madness. Automakers hope solid-state batteries can deliver extended range, as much as 50% higher. Ooh, that could be good, because that's going to be needed for those EV semis that keep getting talked about. Ford, BMW, Samsung, Volta are investors. Prototypes expected to be delivered to Ford and BMW by the end of the year, targeting mass production for 2026 and 2027 makes and models. And here we go. The temperatures in Solid Power, particularly solid state blend, are extremely stable, reducing the need for certain aspects cooling. That could definitely help. Solid state. Cars.com, Car Gurus highlight transformation and expansion of wholesale marketplace. I know. Bear with me. Snooze fest. The roots of both companies are retail facing. But with the Car Gurus acquisition of CarOffer a year and a half ago, and the Cars.com purchase of AccuTrade earlier this year, each planted a flag in the growing online wholesale space. Well, now there's money there. There's definitely vehicles needed to be transported. In fact, wholesale might be one of the better tranches. And from a long and short-term perspective, these moves appear to be bearing fruit. Well, that's very good then. And as we learned in the Auto Transport 22, who has CarOffer's transportation business? It's on the Auto Transport 22. I'll tell you if you want me to. Car Gurus highlighted its new digital retail offering called Digital Deal. I hadn't heard of that before. Which he said helps dealers close more business from the 60% of Car Gurus auto shoppers who wish to conduct more of the car buying process from home. Which I know, Snoozeville. But if the OEMs are talking about direct delivery to consumers, these guys are going to do it too. It's going to be more and more of that talk. Who's delivering those cars? It's on the load board, Jay. Independents need to embrace digital trends, says Used Car News. Embracing the digital workflow, especially for buy here, pay here dealers, can help independents face an ultra competitive environment against the digital giants and mega stores. Finding inventory is a challenge, but access to capital is the second biggest one. So Used Car News and NIADA, we've been collaborating, talking more. So we're going to, this Friday on Cars on the Move, we have independent car dealers. I don't know exactly what's going to happen Friday, but it's going to be cool. And it's going to be unlike, I don't know. Cars on the Move is a wild show. That's a great show to tune into. So we're going to be live at NIADA Convention. You can go to niadaconvention.com. Ty's going to be there in a couple weeks in Vegas. And we're working with Used Car News and NIADA in the booth. Find out more, text Ty, call him. Ask if you can become an ATI insider. Oh, no. Ty. Let's see here. What am I doing? Oh, Ty. 417-483-2764. Yeah, Friday's going to be pretty cool. Let's see here. Oh, we're almost done here. Okay. That's the point. Get the podcast. It's available on all major podcasting platforms and some of the smaller ones as well. That way you can listen to it while you drive. First you go for the get rich and then go to ATI Auto Transport and get some perspective. It's the Car Should Be Business channel. My name is Jay. Okay, we're 1 hour in, so here's what we're going to do. Ty, get ready. And you know what we're going to do is we're going to make it quick because I ate up a lot of time, but that's okay. I knew that something like that would happen. So do me a favor, stick around because right after this, we're going to be live with Ty. Location services, collateral recovery with pinpoint precision, and advanced proprietary technologies. Your single source for loss mitigation solutions. LS Recovery, certified and LS Skip, experienced recovery. LSPR, advanced plate recognition. LS Impound, precision capping. LS Remark, nationwide offers. LS Keys, professional locksmith. LS Transport, any destination. LS Titles, verified documentation. LS Automotive, secure mobility. One contact, one contract. We do it all. Location services. Location services, collateral recovery with pinpoint precision. One contact, one contract. Location services. To find out more, go to locationservices.com. Now, here we go. Ty is getting ready. I don't have my drum roll, but it looks like he's set to go. And thanks for jumping in the live chat. I said Jarrett says the entire economy is a mess right now. True that, Jarrett. It's not only the automobile, not only the auto industry, and it has everything to do with our broken system. I mean, we shut down the country for a year, thus reducing production, man, and beyond. I mean, oh my gosh, there are so many. And so, Jarrett, do you think it'll be easy to get rich car hauling? 20 grand a month, just bang, bang, bang? Really? I mean, why make that video? But here's the good news. That's not the video we're looking at tonight. The video we're going to talk about tonight is, that's what we're going to talk about. So let's bring in Ty. Ty, can you see me and hear me okay?
Sure can. You're looking good too. It looks like you got some sun, man. Been out walking?
As a matter of fact, I have been. I've been walking a lot. So thanks.
Yeah, you look great. Yeah.
Oh, thanks very much. I feel pretty good.
Yeah, you look great. You sound good. I love your
thanks.
information highway. It's really one of my favorites. You do a good job at that. Really do.
Thanks, man.
So here's I'm excited about tonight, and I've got to tell you guys a story real quick. 2 stories. This happened today. I get phone calls because, okay, you guys always hear me talk about Jay and what Jay's done for the show and the platform ATI. It's not the Jay show. It's not the Ty show. It's not the Sue. It's not the Brian show. We're here to educate the community, right? The car hauling community, the auction community, the dealer community. We're talking to a lot of people. Okay. So today, I get 2 calls. I got more than 2, but these 2 stood out. The first call was a guy down in Dallas. As you guys know, I'm Ty. In the live chat, it's Cars on the Move. So if you're confused, who's Cars on the Move? That's me. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. My phone rings. I answer it. And I'm going to stop you right here. Okay. Because this was the first phone call, and it's important, and I want to talk about it, but I got to go to the second phone call first, because what you're seeing here and what you're listening to when Jay talks like this, the reason that we are so passionate about this is because it's real. Okay. Jay's been in it. I've been in it, and we have a lot of friends that have been in it even longer than us. So when we talk about car hauling and don't get rich car hauling, there's way more behind it. So the second phone call that I want to talk about first is a guy named Steve Gibbs, 704 area code. I heard him mention maybe Raleigh. So I don't know exactly where he's at. I'm sorry, Steve, if I mess this up, because I told Steve to watch this, because this phone call really impacted me. And Steve, I may have talked to Steve once before, and I don't honestly remember, but Steve calls, I always answer my phone. That's why my phone number's in there, is because I answer my phone because I care about you, right? This isn't about Ty. It's not about me. It's not about, so Steve calls, he asks a couple quick questions that are real basic, real easy. And I don't know what it is about Steve, but I like Steve. And Steve's like, dude, you and Jay are really putting out some truth. Remember that word. You're putting out truth. And people don't want to hear it. I'm like, yeah, we kind of know that. You know, I hear Jay, he talks a lot about, man, our views are down. People hate us because we're talking truth. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And no offense or nothing, but I always brush that off. You know, nobody hates me, right? Well, this guy tells me, I talk to people every day and I ask people if they watch ATI, and there are people that do not like you guys. They don't like you. And I was honestly shocked. And that's what started the conversation. I want to keep going with this phone call. I know we're running way behind, but this is important because he starts saying, I'm like, oh yeah, well, so what do they say? Oh, Jay doesn't know this. Ty doesn't even have any trucks. This, you guys are stupid. You just run around and yap. Okay. I don't talk about it often, and I want to talk about it tonight. I want to set the stage. What Ty and Jay do for the community. Okay. Jay has experience in the community. I have experience in the community. I've been in this business for 20 years. Do I have trucks? No. Do I need trucks? No. Can I go get trucks? I'm sure I can. Okay. So why am I talking like this? So let's back up to when Ty was a kid and growing up with his mom, who's on her 9th marriage before she dies, and countless boyfriends in the middle. Okay. So somewhere around the age of 7, when I started smoking Marlboros and drinking Coors Light, maybe 7 to 10, somewhere in there, I decided I don't want to live like that. That's not my life. So I went to high school, moved back with my dad, blah, 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 went to a Christian private school, which my dad made me pay for, by the way. And I hated every minute of it. But while I was there, I met this beautiful young lady and I married her. We dated for 6 years. We got married. And we decided when we got married that she was going to be a stay-at-home mom and she was going to take care of, be a homemaker. And I was going to go make money and I was going to build pay the bills, whatever you call that. Okay. So in college, I get married. I am selling annuities, 403Bs. That's a 401k for a nonprofit. So I'm into sales. I run into an old buddy. I buy a tow truck company and I sell it. And my next step is transportation. So I've been towing cars for car dealers and I know car dealers. So I end up transporting cars. I do this for a long time. I get up to 20 trucks, Peterbilts, brand new. Back in the day, 7509s. And I am working 20 hours a day and I'm sleeping 4. And that's for 5 days for sure, maybe 6. Okay. So we're building a business and it's relationship and it's not load board and it's dealers calling. Where are the keys? Dealers calling. Why aren't you here? Where's your truck? Where's the driver? What's going on? It just constant, right? So building this business, wife, 3 kids, something falls apart. Okay. I don't know exactly what it was. It could have been me working too much. It could have been other problems. Whatever the case may be, something falls apart at home. It's the marriage. The marriage falls apart. A 20-year marriage is gone. Okay. I do not care about the business anymore. I care more about what just happened in my life. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because I'm very, very passionate about this business. I know exactly what it can do to you and your family. It takes a lot of money and it's a very difficult business. That's why we're not on here talking about how much money you can make. Okay. I know firsthand the trouble, the trials, the tribulations, the cash flow, the accounts receivable, the balance sheet, the P&L. I know it all. You see me on Friday in a transport parking lot, walking around an auction and randomly talking to people. Okay. I know this business very well on the used car side, from auctions to dealers and dealers to auctions. There are lots of parts about this business I don't know. And that's why I meet people like Jay. That's why we have friends like Joe. That's why we have friends like Kandy down at Seaport Services. That's why we have friends like Ron. That's why we have friends like Lionel. That's why we have friends at ACV. That's why we have friends over here at Backlot Cars, at Super Dispatch, at Superflow Systems. We are really, I don't know if you can see it in my face, but we really care about this business. And we don't want you to spend 150 grand of borrowed money to find out 3 to 6 months later, this is a train wreck. Got it? Okay. So there's call number 1. That was actually call number 2.
That was
Steve,
awesome, by the way. I just want to stop you for a second because I'm sitting here jotting down notes, and I want to say this, Ty. Okay, I'm going to say some things that outline. It is true that there has to be a lot of people that just don't like us because we're 5 years down the road, and our views look like we just started. There's something going on. And I mean, like, and we hear about like there's meetings and all this stuff. And I can't believe none of those associations are pounding on our door to please come and be a part of some of the stuff we're doing. It's okay. There's, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what? No, hold on. You know,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a lot in common with people that keep saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. I don't have a lot in common with that group. I have almost nothing in common with companies that brag about charity donations and don't pay their employees. I have even less in common with C-level executives that have never been anywhere near a truck and are the ones that always get the invites to speak at association meetings. And I really don't like the company that says we're number one or we're the first ones here that are going to save this industry. No wonder nobody likes us, Ty.
Well, truth is truth. And I know I'm here. I know Jay's here. Jay and I have a relationship, and it's a very valuable, precious relationship. It really is. And I'm just here to tell you that what Jay puts into this, it is amazing. Okay. Unreal. And when we talk about this kind of stuff, and when we have these Tuesday night shows, Friday shows, Wednesday, Thursday, this is There's nobody in this conversation right here, these two guys, there's nobody in this conversation banking, getting rich. Okay. We care about the industry. We really care about the industry. So enough of that. I just want everybody to know here, just because Jay's not dispatching, just because Ty doesn't have trucks means zero. So you can take that, give me a call. My phone number's on there, 417-483-2764. Call me. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Text me
Yeah,
after the show.
Yeah. 2764.
I'm happy to
It's
talk
so
about it.
true.
Just because I don't have a truck, how do I navigate through the transport parking lot? How do I navigate through the? I mean, really? Are you kidding me?
That's the thing is that I think it's taken a few years for us to just finally go, like Paul says, throw out the box.
Yeah.
Because any attempt to gain street cred, I think there's still a guy that's mad at me for having Serge the car hauler on the video on the show 4 years ago. I mean, it's crazy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? All right, let's do this. I know we haven't shown the video that we're going to review. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and first, let me get these.
While you're doing that, hold on.
Go
I'm not going to
ahead.
keep going, but I want you to know, we get calls every day. Ty takes the call. So whether it's an email, Jay sends it to me, whether it's somebody just found my number, doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, this channel helps people. Okay. So real basic 101 stuff. You call me, I'll do my best to help you. If you've got a fleet and you're big and you need who do I talk to? Give me a call. I can help. My point is that we really do make an impact. We really do have an effect. And we aren't here to tell you this is easy and you can make a lot of money.
And we know it too. Luckily, we've had enough positive feedback and engagement. The amount of companies and executives we're connected to behind the scenes, I actually can't even believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, when I can hear the show in the background. Yeah, no, it is. And you know what I did? I didn't even let them know I was going to bring them in. I just started bringing them in, and so they're watching the show. It's so great.
Good job. Good job. Thank you, everybody. We got a great group tonight. We really do.
Yeah, we're excited. So we have that's Joe Bercari. He's getting everything set. I'm going to switch over to the live chat for a second. I'm also going to mute. Okay, I muted the desktop for a second, so it's just me. What we're gonna do here is, so Joe, Kandy, and let's see, who else do we bring in here? Joe, Kandy, and Ron are in process getting their camera, their video, their audio ready. Let's go into the live chat and just say, so yeah, Joe, we are the punk rock of car hauling. Chris has got an LOL. Kandy says she's about to cry, respect. I want to say this too, is that Ty, what you were saying, you did a great job of laying out that life. Man, do I know life too. I tell you what, I can't get used to it, Ty. I can't get used to why people still hate this channel. I can't. That makes no sense. It's stupid. Whatever.
Truth.
Whatever. It's truth. Yeah. Wow.
We got truth.
Well, and you know what? You guys know this too. If you want to measure society, just read the comments on any political post. Any non-political post. It could be a conversation about electricity, and you go a few comments in, and you are in bonfire of the soul. Hey, what a great introduction. Okay, so we have Ron of NYC Traffic. He's here. Ron, can you see us and hear us okay?
How's everybody? I can see you, hear you good.
What's up,
Thanks
Ron?
for having me again.
Thanks for tuning in.
What's up, everybody? Nice to see you all.
It's great to see you, man.
Hi, that was amazing. Yeah, I could have got a lump in my throat there if I let it. But wow, that was the truth, Ty. That was the truth.
Thank you. It is. There's more to it, but there's your short version, and it's real.
Yeah.
And everybody in this group knows it.
Yeah, I've felt that about you since day one. That you definitely passionate, really care, and definitely know what it feels like. Not what the process or the steps are. You know what it feels like to be doing this, and that's what a lot of people overlook. Because they're just getting used to the grind every day. They just think it's another day. But really, to understand the feeling and the emotions that the owner operator is having, trying to get this going or trying to keep it going, oh my God, it'll ruin lives. Why? I know so many guys have gone through the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
good
True.
for you though.
Thank you.
We have Joe Bercari with us as well. Joe, please say hello. What's up, Joe?
Hi, good evening. To my fabulous introduction. I don't know how anyone follows that, but we'll all try.
Yeah, absolutely. That was amazing.
But I tell people all the time, whether I'm interviewing new hires or if I'm talking to people inside or outside of the industry, you know, this business has a learning curve that is very, very steep. And, you know, a lot of people will take a run at it and they just don't get there, you know, for whatever reason. The economy hits them, timing hits them, financing hits them, you know, any number of personal things hit them, whatever. And the interesting thing is that the people that survive, the long termers, the people that make it through that tough spot, you know, this business gets in your blood. It becomes part of you. And then all of a sudden, everything else is boring. And I don't know whether it's like we're just adrenaline junkies or sadists or paths or any of those things. But you get in this business, if you survive it, boy, it's hard to get out of it. So, you know, you want to be welcoming. You want to let people in. You want to bring people into this like ridiculous and crazy community that we have. But you can't lie to them and say, oh, yeah, Candyland and Unicorn, it's going to be awesome. Come on. You know, just can't wait to be tripping over the dolls. It don't work that way. So.
No. Joe, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you a lot.
Oh, good. Kandy's here. Kandy, can you see us and hear us okay?
Hey, yep. Hey, guys.
Kandy, what's up,
Hey,
Kandy?
Kandy. How are you?
What's up, Ron? Ain't seen you in a while.
I know. Nice to see you too.
But you're making all that money. I got you.
No, it's just stress.
Kandy, Seaport Services, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Our port lady, port queen, right?
Port, yes, queen of the port. Here.
Queen of the port. Kandy is incredible relationship, beautiful, just precious, just amazing. Thank you, Kandy.
Don't tell dynamic of my secret. Don't tell everybody.
Oh, we just talked a couple weeks ago, Kandy.
Huh?
Like, yeah, we just talked a couple weeks ago. Kandy was so busy, and she still gave me. We were on the phone for like 30 minutes or so, and then she had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real talk.
It is really hard to take that amount of time out of your day while you're dealing with everything else.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Everybody here does that, and I thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
We have I sent Lionel. Hopefully Lionel can join us because we're about to crank up the make money car hauling. You know, is it funny? This is show 245, and we've never done a reaction show. Now,
this is a good idea. I like this when you told me about it.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't want to miss it.
Right. I'm
thinking all the rage now on YouTube.
I think this is a really good idea. And I'm also proud of the video because here's what happened, right? I saw this video, a few weeks ago, and I sent everybody here the video. I said, what do you think? What do you think of this video? And everybody pretty much said, it's a pretty good video. It's just that, what about this, this, and this? So I asked everybody to watch it again, and we're going to kind of start. It's only like 7 minutes, I think. We're going to go through this video, and we're not even going to get halfway through, and we're going to have all kinds of stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this. Lionel. Oh, and by the way, John Robertson might make it to join. We'll see. That'd be cool. Because what also is good, and we had, Brian Riker couldn't make it. He wasn't feeling well. Sue wasn't available. Sue is tied up with something, so she couldn't make it either. And Will Morris couldn't make it. Because what I realized is, actually having, right, rather than having just carriers, or hated channel providers talking about it, we should have all of the verticals represented, because that's another thing. We never see that in auto transport. Gosh, why would you have different verticals having a conversation? right? The dealer's talking, the auction's talking, the OEM's talking, and cut. Okay. All right. That's enough, Jay. Let's go to the video. Now, this is the video. Or no, yeah? Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Vaughn the Statman,
Yeah, this
and
is
in
it.
today's video, guys, I will not be discussing. You have to call a minimum of 5 brokers, and you want to say, hey, act like you're a customer. Hey, I got a 2018 Nissan Altima.
Okay, you can hear him okay, right? Okay, and I think I jumped ahead there. Just trying to get everything.
Way ahead.
Can you hear it? You can hear the video?
No.
No. Okay, let's do this. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to go to the YouTube channel. Here's the YouTube channel. And can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's do, okay, share sound. Okay, here we go. You can hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Hi.
Hello everyone, my name is Vaughn the Statman, and in today's video, guys, I will not be discussing DFS. I will be discussing how to make money as a 3-car hauler. So if you have a dually and you have a 3-car, a 4-car, 5-car, I will teach you how to be profitable so you do not go out of business. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so step 1, the way that you become profitable in auto hauling is you have to factor in all your expenses. So number 1, you have to factor in what is your insurance for the month.
Okay.
Now, in this business, you're going to pay between $700 if you've been doing it for 10 years. I've
It's not
seen as
the
high
video.
as $3,000. So only you know what your insurance is. So
And at any time, anybody can say, stop the video, right, or whatever.
So some important comments here. He talks about a 3 to a 5-car hauler, but he is always, in this particular video, seems to be assuming a dually dragging a wedge or something behind that. It's not the same thing as running a Class 8, Class A, or a high fifth wheel or something like that. This is not the same thing. The economics are not the same. You know, he is very specific to this is, you know, how you do this with this 3-car wedge. That's very important here because he's going to throw some numbers out later. I'm not going to agree with them all, but those numbers are going to be specific to that particular type of equipment as opposed to, you know, other things that other entrepreneurs might be looking to get into with this business.
And I'll tell you this, is that it seems to me that he had a good reason.
write that number down.
He had a good reason to do that because it seems like, what, 99% of people on YouTube that want to get in are going to do a dually wedge. Is that right?
Right. Well, what's happening here, you got to remember, you know, the average viewership of YouTube is, you know, 60 seconds or 55 seconds in, and he's already established his premise. So, you know, the next 3 minutes is going to be highly determined by whether or not the first 55 seconds actually matter to the individual that's, you know, hit the button and said, oh, how can I make money doing this job? So the point being that the economics of a 3-car wedge with a dually are not going to be the same as the economics of a high fifth wheel of any kind, and absolutely nowhere close to the economics of a Stinger. Not even close.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a good establishment. And I'm going to give him points. I really want to give a lot of points because I do not want to hear, Jay, you were so unfair. We're going to trash your channel forever now. I don't want to hear that. Points go to the fact that he's talking about expenses first.
Well, that's true, but he hasn't got there yet. And I haven't to achieve because someone told me that I couldn't make it 1 minute through this video without calling something out. And here we are.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Well, my notes say expenses, 3 to 5-car dually wedge, insurance.
So for the purpose of this video, we're going to say your insurance is $2,000. Next, what is your truck?
I want to stop there. Insurance was $2,000. How we doing?
Yeah.
We're okay?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, good. All right.
Payment. If you've
Truck
been doing this for
payment.
some time, your truck's paid off, you don't have to worry about this expense. But most haulers have new trucks or newer trucks. So let's say for the purpose of this video, your truck payment is $850. If you're
Plus
like
it.
me, I typically do 4 loads a week. I typically
Okay, truck payment $850. We okay?
Right. So we're making an assumption here that he is buying this vehicle for commercial use. Truck payment for that might be something different than if he was buying dually for personal use. You know, and that's really important because the financing for a company that is going to be, you know, for equipment use as opposed to the financing for someone just buying a dually because they want to drag a camper around the United States could be totally two different things. I don't know about the numbers. I don't know about the economics. It's very important that when you establish the financing that will be your truck payment, you have to be very upfront with your loan provider that the purpose of this vehicle is to generate income for an entrepreneur or, you know, for a business. And if you do not put that up front, you could find yourselves in serious problems with, you know, you bought it for personal use and pleasure. That's what you stated. Your insurance doesn't match up, blah, 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 blah. The whole litany of things. If you purchase a vehicle as though it was for personal use, and in fact, it is really to be used for commercial purposes.
And personally, the pessimist in me assumes that half the people watching this are like, yeah, I don't have a truck payment because it's my own truck. We've had it for years. We're going to make a bunch of money. That's $850 net profit right there. We just made $850, honey, every month. Am I wrong?
Yeah, there's an aspect of that that's wrong. That means if you paid it off and you've had it several years now, it's going to be older, it's going to be age and wear, and you know, certain things, instead of it being $1,000, not going to be $2,000. You got to replace more to get it back in working condition.
Good, Ron. So what you just did is wait till he gets to maintenance, because what Ron just said is going to be a gut punch on that one.
Let me jump on top of what Ron just said. If you decide to make that decision and take an asset that you've already owned and decide to put it into your business, that changes the whole tax game. Remember, you know, businesses follow different tax rules than individuals. And so it's really important to understand that if you're going to make that decision, absolutely there are some good reasons to do that. There are absolutely some good business reasons to do that. But the tax situation for an asset that you're making, that you have, that is, you know, where there's a lien against you that you're making a purchase payment for, as opposed to an asset that you are simply, that you already own, that you're putting to work, kind of two different things, and could also mean two different things from the IRS standpoint should things go sideways, which you always have to think about. You never want to get into this situation, never want or into this business thinking that you're going to fail, but you must plan for it as though you would protect yourself, so that way if things go sideways, you're not upside down with the law.
You know,
he's totally right on that, because if I could just add one more little thing, I think
please.
This is something that well, just what he said right now. You know, the law and insurances can drop you at the drop of a hat, literally, from night to day. I might wake up with an email tomorrow morning saying, "Hey, listen, I didn't like the way one of your drivers made a left-hand turn from the left-hand lane. I would drop you." Okay, so these things, I mean, when you're first starting out, you have to have such a buffer for just unexpected. And basically, the more time you give yourself, the more planning. You know that 3-month rule that you try to give yourself when it comes to savings. If you can have that from the beginning, I know it's hard. Most of these guys are trying to get into it right away to start making money right away, because there is money in this. And there is money to be made. The more you work, the more money you can make out of it. But sometimes they jump in head first without any buffer at all. And then easily an insurance company drops from night to day. And then you got to spend the next 2 or 3 weeks finding another insurance carrier that will take you. That's 3 weeks of that revenue with something that you're going to have coming up, which is expenses, truck payments, and you know, if there's and all that, and taxes and all that kind of stuff. But again, I won't go on because I know I have I can just go on and on, but that to the add to him that you have to have a buffer when you first start. It is definitely the better way. No, it should be the way to go, but I know most don't do that. Especially with these hot shots. These hot shots, they put some pretty big weights on these things, and man, I see them on the side of the road just with tires going on them. And these tires on these little trucks, they're expensive too. You know, I just quoted one on a guy who was asking me if I knew where I could find these tires because they're hard to come by, and they're like, I think $300 a shot for one. You know, so right there, if you're doing 3 cars and each one is paying you $100 or $150, if you're doing something really local, really something, you know, quick, there goes your whole load. And again, you're not going to always win on every load, but that's where you need to have that buffer, you know, in different aspects of this thing. But go on, Jay.
Go, and I come back the next day. So I typically stay at a hotel. I don't sleep in my truck, but if you sleep in your truck, then you don't have to worry about
hotel. One of the things that concerned me is number 3 is hotel.
Yep.
I would think that'd be like number 10 or something.
No. He actually, he's not wrong to call it out. For a 3-car carrier, it's probably a pretty percentage of revenue, but he got the math wrong. Go ahead and run it. I'll tell you why.
Okay, cool. And hey, I think Lionel's here.
You might circle back to insurance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know exactly. Right. All right. So, we'll do that. We're going to keep going, but insurance was number 1.
well,
right.
this expense.
Hotel.
I typically pay $80 on average for a hotel. So for me, it'd be $160 a week, right? These are my expenses, not including maintenance. Now, I estimate that monthly during the course of a 12-month period.
Let's stop it right there. Okay.
Right.
This is where I threw the baby out with the bathwater. Take it away.
All right. So here's what he got wrong. And I'm not going to talk about the insurance payment. Don't know what that number is for him. If that's the number it is. I don't know what the truck payment is for him. Don't know what that is. Monthly maintenance, we'll talk about later. I don't have a lot of heartburn with that metric, but the hotel fee of $80 per night, in this assessment, he called out $80 a night. I stay there. I usually use 2 hotels per week. And then he accidentally only used 2 hotels per week in his weekly fixed cost. So in other words, he calculates all of his expenditures over the entirety of a month, but then accidentally understates the hotel to $160 instead of $1,280 for the entirety of the month. Now, why do I call this out? Because this is a mistake that people make. You can look at the numbers all day long for hours and hours and hours, and you're pretty sure you got it right. $80 a night, pretty sure you're right. But the problem is that at some point, he made a mistake here in his math, where he put 2 hotel nights for an entire 30-day period when he really needed to cover, 8 or 10, depending on how long the month is, for that same 30-day period. So in essence, his fixed costs are incorrect based on this analysis that he is putting together. And it's mistakes like this that can actually cost the company huge amounts of money because they'll figure it out eventually when the receivables and the payables don't match up. They'll figure it out. But on the upfront, when you're planning, this is a huge mistake. It's a classic error that somebody will make. So you have to always double check your numbers, double check your formulas. And I would recommend find somebody else who can double check them with you. An extra set of eyes is way valuable in this situation when you're trying to start a business and make and try and make sure that all the math works. By the way, that extra set of eyes will also tell you when you're full of it and you're wrong and you got the wrong damn idea, you ain't gonna be able to run this business that way.
I think
there ain't no way you're gonna be able to get hotels for $23 a night or some stupidness like that.
I think that's called your spouse.
Or
by the
your
way,
spouse, your accountant,
PA.
your friends, some guy you met who's vaguely interested in the channel, Thompson, who will tell you all this stuff if you call the 417 number that was advertised. All of it. Don't let your set be the only set of eyes. Let other people review your business model. Let other people help you, because the reality is you don't know what you don't know. You can't know everything.
That's right. You don't know what you don't know. By the way, Lionel, thank you so much for taking the time, saying hello. Let's just do this. Let's do this. And I know you can't see. Let's see if I move this here and I do like this and this and this. All right, now you can almost see everything. So we got insurance. This is per month, okay? I know he had 500 or 5,000 a week, which obviously is 20,000 a month, which is a common number. So if we have 20,000 a month, is 2,000 a month in insurance? How we doing, Lionel? We close?
We're not close, because I'll just remind everybody of the industry itself as far as supply and demand on dualies. 2 years back, they were about $69,000, $75,000 for a brand new one. Now they're about $95,000 and up to $105,000. So in reality, we'll get to reality now. You're covered an additional $35,000 to $45,000 in replacement value. Now, just from a common sense standpoint of just coverage, without even getting to the point where they're raising the rates anyway, you're covering an additional $35,000 to $45,000 on top of what you already had at $2,000. So he may be at $2,000 because he got his truck prior to this time, because he got the truck at a decent price. Those trucks aren't at that price any longer.
Right.
So I would adjust that from $2,500 to $3,500 a month now.
Line of physical damage and cargo and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's also cargo, depending upon your customer, how much the customer wants you to carry in cargo. The big guys want you to be at about 250,000.
And
depending upon, if you're hauling for any type of rate. Just let's put it that way.
All right, so since we're adjusting numbers, we adjusted the insurance, we adjusted the truck. Is the trailer payment on here too?
It should be, because the price of that equipment went up also.
All right. So we got the hotel. Is fuel on here?
He estimated at $5 a gallon at that time, but that's not real up here in the Northeast.
But
it's different. Yeah. He gets into that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a whole other rant on that one.
All right. So, but let's say we have, and I think the maintenance is low too. If you add up these four numbers, maybe a couple more. Yeah, Ty.
Sorry, I did. Okay, the one that's missing that bothers me the most is how much money do you make now before you start this? So where's that number? If we were talking Friday, 60 grand, 75, whatever the number is, you want to make it 100?
Well, and
where's that number? Where's that number?
Yeah, no, I like.
And again, we're not. Nobody's being mean here. I'm just like, okay, we're not even. But how are you going to put food in your mouth? How are you going to pay the electric bill and the rent, or the mortgage, or the car payment? I'm
writing fuel, trailer, and profit. Let's keep going, because maybe we're just being unfair. Let's keep going.
I'm going to spend $500 a month in maintenance. That's what I average. Some people's could be higher, some people's could be lower, but I do this because that's how I feel would be smart for me. So that total would be $3,510. So now you want to break this down weekly. So if you divide that by 4, it's going to come up to $877.50. But whenever you're doing expenses, round it up to the nearest hundred. So you're going to.
Right. So his operating cost is $900 a week. Whoa. Joe's muted.
To me, that sounds realistic for the miles that he runs.
So he's got 4,000 profit. Is that right?
There's no way. There's no way.
Hold on.
4,000. He's at 20% or less operating cost. Joe, you're muted.
Joe's still muted.
Joe, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Here I am ranting away.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed the greatest rant of all time.
Oh, man.
Should be clear about that. No, this is the reason why he messed this up. He is at 1,000. He was showing $160 per month as his hotel fees, when if in fact he really uses 2 hotels per week, times 4 weeks per month, which that's not really the right calculation, but for simplicity's sake, let's pretend it is. He should have actually been at $320 per week. And so roughly speaking, if he's saying that he makes $1,400 a load times so whatever number of loads, he kind of didn't, he was a little nebulous about that.
At about 4.
Sorry?
He said 4.
But
4 per load?
And loads, yeah, more information about loads is coming up, yeah.
Taking the under, they were 400 mile loads. So I'm taking the under on that one. So, but, now that some doesn't add up right here. My point is that he was definitely showing a greater revenue basis than a cost basis. He missed that cost, classic mistake. And just to illustrate the point, he's showing $160 a month of costs in hotels when the real cost is $1,200 a month. That could be the difference from a pricing standpoint when you're trying to assess whether or not you want to run a load or don't run a load. That could be the difference between profit and loss easily on a week-to-week basis. You do that for 4 months before you look at your financials and say, what's going on here? Why am I hemorrhaging? And you got a big problem.
Okay, let's keep going, because it only takes a few seconds to want to stop it to talk, doesn't it?
If I can add one more expense that nobody's talked about.
Yeah, Ron, please.
And this is particular to me because of where I am. Okay, I'm in the Northeast where any mile you run, you're going to pay a toll. Okay, my carriers pay a toll of, I think we're up to like $280 round trip a day. Okay, now again, the tolls are based on the axles that you have on your equipment. These hot shots I see moving they have 5 axles pulling 3 cars, where I have a 9 car with the same amount of axles paying the same amount of tolls that they are. Now again, let's just say my truck, one of my trucks, let's just say $300. I think we're up to 280 or 310. I forgot what the last one was on what we add up in tolls a day, literally just to do our basic runs. Okay, and this is standard for us up here. Okay, if I have one truck doing that 5 times a day, 5 times a week at just 300, that there alone is $1,500 in tolls per truck with 5 axles. Okay, these guys with the hot shots who do it around my area, I do not know how they do it. I don't. That's $1,500 a week right off the bat, and you can't do it. And if you don't pay the tolls when you're supposed to pay it, just because we have the fast lanes with the easy pass and stuff like that, if you don't pay it right there on the spot, later on in the mail you're going to get a service fee and a not paying fee and the whole thing. Right off the bat, it's $150 added on to that original toll. And what happens with most guys who are on the road not catching their mail? They wait until the end of the week, the end of the month to finally open the mail, send in that bill. That's another 150 plus whatever toll they missed. Oh, it's just literally it's crazy. But again, that's my particular where I am, and it's, you know, I know the rest of the country it's not that way, but around here by me, I do not know how they do it. That's why every time I hear you guys talk about hot shots, I'm blown away. I'm like, I wonder how these guys do it. There must be something I do not know because I don't get it.
This is where discipline comes into play.
You can't that bypass on Route 95 at Perrysville when you're running 95 over here.
The business.
You are not missing Perrysville. They have a toll on Route 40 and 95, which runs parallel to it. So they get you both ways. So no matter which one you take, they're going to get their money.
This is where running a business like this, and this is where I'm going to get into this a little bit later about why it's important to separate your fixed and your variable costs. Because if you don't understand what is a fixed cost and what is a variable cost, and this video, it's not a bad video, but he has a tendency to lump everything into some, you know, massive monthly sum. That's where you get in trouble, is because you're not paying attention to the details. The old phrase, the devil's in the details here.
I agree.
That variable that he's talking about, the variable that Joe is saying, that's so true. That variable, it changes. People don't realize that variable means change. It's
that
not
variable
fixed.
cost is key, man. You got to understand how the fixed and the variable relate to each other. And if you want to run an effective business and you want to price your business effectively, you got to understand exactly where the fixed costs are and where the variable costs are. By the way, Ty said this 10 million times. Understand your battleground. You got to understand what you're doing business with. In the Northeast, you're going to be fighting tolls. You're going to be fighting traffic. It's going to change your ability to deliver. If you're in the Southwest, it may not be that way. It's going to be something different. If you're in Texas, well, God bless you. You're in Texas. I wish you the best of luck. But anyway, I'll move on.
That was fantastic. I was sharing some information in the live chat about fixed costs and variable costs. And again, I don't know why. I don't know who's watching. I don't know why they're watching, meaning because it just have lost a sense of what sense we make.
18 people watching right now.
Right. I mean, it's clear to me. Although, but here, I tell you what, I want to, Wendy, I love what Wendy said. Are these hot shots safe? See, Wendy, we're trying to help. That's why I would think that there would be some 30-year experienced company drivers that would appreciate this show a little bit. But I don't know if that's true. See, Ty's like, Jay, don't say it. They already hate you, Jay. You were an illegal dispatcher that talked to Serge the car hauler once. All right, let's keep going. All right, so it's so funny to me. Okay, all right, let's keep going with the video.
The operating cost for your truck is $900. So if you have a $900 a week expense, if you do 4 loads a week, you'll roughly be spending about $225 a load. But if you don't get 4,
okay, so now he's breaking down his expenses by load, which is interesting. Oh, and it says before your fuel cost. Okay. That's an interesting method. I don't know if I ever looked at it that way when we were calculating, what a company was making. I think we just looked at it. What was our revenue in the month? What were our expenses in the month? Because per load is interesting. Because, I mean, there's all kinds of variables there. Let's keep going.
4 loads a week, guys, you still got to spend $900 on operating costs. So if you know your operating cost is $900, and I'm doing this video when fuel is now $5 per gallon, I estimate that my truck uses $150 for every 200 miles. I don't go further than 450 miles, guys, because I don't see the point of going that far, because when you go above that, they're going to try to give you 70 cents a mile. I charge $1.25 a mile. That's how
I think this is the problem. See, now we've added so many things, right? We're talking about loads, we're talking about expenses per load, we're talking about fuel, we're talking about mileage, now we're talking about rates, and we haven't once talked about who your customer is.
The mistake here is that we got this far into this discussion without fuel. Fuel is going to be ideally between 10 and 15% of your overall revenue picture. If that's not the second or third question you ask, something's wrong. Fuel is a variable cost, meaning to say, if you go 50 miles, you go 500 miles, fuel is a cost that you can predict. Maybe not month to month, but load to load, you can absolutely predict. So fuel really, the mistake here is that he says, it cost me this amount of fuel for, per hour work. I wouldn't do it per hour myself. I would do it by per mile, but different strokes for different folks. Myself, I think the mistake made here is that fuel is not up with maintenance and all that other stuff that he started this video off with.
Yeah, if we actually stretched it into reality for which it actually is, if you're, and I'm being nice, you're getting 10 miles to the gallon, that you're at about 66 cents a mile on the gas up in the Northeast.
Lionel, he's showing, but based upon the metrics he put on the website, he's saying that he's around 6.7 miles per gallon, which for a hot shot with a 3-car wedge seems kind of low, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and once again, me and Ty talked about this a lot when we start talking to guys. Short mile, long dollar. You have to understand your boundaries prior to yourself getting into this to allow yourself the ability to make that level of profit, because a lot of guys just look at the total amount of money of what they're getting on the per car instead of the total amount of money that they're getting per mile.
Well, this is a great point, Lionel, and I think at the end of this video, I got like 4 points about during the video, of which I've talked on 6 of them. And at the end of the video, I got 25 more. But no kidding, like that's a really important thing to understand is that, the thing that I struggled with this video is not that his intention was bad. It was that he was going 7 different ways. You couldn't, you couldn't find the math and where he was going. And when you tried to add the math up, it took you to a place where you're like, I'll do something else. It didn't congeal. So there's work, there's good information at the core of this.
Yes.
But there's more to be done. And what he misses that should have been pushed to the forefront that shows up on the back end, it's as big or a bigger cost than these other things. So
yeah.
And I want to call. Here's the thing: is the guy that made the video is probably thinking, yeah, but you guys, I'm competing with the guy that made a 1-minute video that said you can make $20,000 a month by just driving cross country, and then had the fancy graphics, and he's on TikTok. I got to compete with that guy.
Right.
Which is wild. That's what I just said is real.
And that guy made $6.70 in monetization, and this guy is about to lose a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the TikTok guy. Oh, I totally want to check in with him in a few years. Okay. Let's see here. Let's keep going. This is great. Gosh, we have so much left to do. It's amazing.
I stay profitable. So if I go 400 miles, I'm going to make $1,400. That's my goal, to make $1,400, because I want to make $100. I want to make my apologies. I want to make $125 for every hour that I'm in the truck. So
that's interesting too, right?
Yeah, that mentality I don't understand, especially from where I'm from. That mentality right there is a 9 to 5 thinking kind of job.
Exactly.
It's not the one that you want to have or you need to have in this industry. Really, hours become just one lump sum of time when you're doing this. It's not an hourly thing. You're not, if you're thinking, you're trying to make $125 an hour, there's just no way. And again, the thing too, going back to where he was doing $220 a load, is that what he was doing after he averaged his whole week's worth of loads, and that's what it came out to be, $220 a load. That's what I first thought when he said that. I was like, is that what he's doing? But then after I just heard what Joe was saying, now I'm not sure what to think. Like, what did he mean by that? And then also again with this, that whole hourly mentality, I don't understand.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't work up in the Northeast because the traffic's too unpredictable around DC.
Right.
Way.
Right. Traffic would, and I think here's the problem is that $125 an hour, like, sounds good. Like, I would tell the banker, I would tell extended family, I make $125 an hour.
Yeah.
But every time I sit in LA traffic, I would get mad because now I'm not making $125 an hour.
Yeah.
Sounds like a difficult thing to live up to. But I love that he we all agree this is a good video.
If I can say something, if I can critique the video on its technique, I'm going to be honest with you. I was taken in by his voice and his delivery.
Mm-hmm.
If he was talking with concrete numbers and everything else, the structure was his story was truth, he would have a great video, because his delivery and his voice and the way he breaks it down, it's almost a little bit kind of cartoonish, and it becomes friendly. Like if I was a reader and if I was watching this, like I did when you first threw me that video, that link, and that's what I was caught on. His voice and the way he broke it down, it was kind of like friendly to look at, nice to look at. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But then again, you go into the details and you're like, oh yeah, you see all these things. But again, it is definitely a good try. But the numbers and the mentality of it, you question. Go ahead.
And he couples it down to 7 minutes, which is incredible.
Yeah.
He managed to get this down. And somehow in there, he manages to get a great joke about Fruit Loops and a mother in the basement, which is genius.
That's my part.
Fabulous
That's my part.
Yeah. Let me
Oh,
insult
yeah.
him out the door.
No, I'm waiting on that.
And it was a good, just think broker. Okay, broker. All right, here.
Pick up 3 cars?
Yeah, no, I think we're about to get into the cars, which is good.
So now let's add this up.
Okay.
So let's just say you do 4 loads a week. So your load, you got $225 that's going to your bills. I have $300 that's going to fuel. So before I make a profit, I have $525.
4 loads a week. It gets tricky to follow. 4 loads a week, $525. All right. Anyway, we'll keep going.
$5 that's going to my expenses. So you cannot stay in business if you take 3 cars for $300 a piece. If you go 400 miles and you get $900, you only have $300 and some odd dollar profit. So if let's say you only get 3 loads that week, you will be out of business in 4 months. You will not sustain your business because you still got to pay $900 a week minimum. Let's just say this week you had to get 2 tires. Let's just say your fuel pump went out. That's $1,000 job. Tires can be anywhere from 100 to.
I just want to stop. See, that's the problem with the $500 a month maintenance number. That's why I was a dispatcher. I never drove and I never loaded, and there I just lost half the audience. But on the phone with drivers, constantly going through tires. As the dispatcher, I'm like, God, take it easy on the tires. Right?
Yeah, those 10 plies turn into bubble gum in the summertime, man. After no time, 2 weeks, easy.
So $500 a month maintenance. I don't think I had any drivers that were making $20K a month and only spending $500 in maintenance. I can't name one.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jeff. You go.
No, that number's high.
500 a month?
Yeah. Now he might be
on a dually.
Yeah, no, that number's high. He he might be talking about cost accruals, meaning to say, you know, you're going to spend some amount of money over the lifespan of this truck, and so you have to save for, an amount per week. But I don't know, 500 a month on a dually seems high. For a big truck, it's a little different.
Okay.
But
all right, well then he's going to pocket that money, Joe. He's going to love what you said.
No, Joe does have, yeah, Joe's kind of right, because even on my again, my 9 cars, they're, you know, you can put heavier weights, they're more durable and stuff. So my maintenance is not that much every month on my 9 cars, because again, they're hauling appropriately loaded weight.
Okay.
These dualies, though, I see some of these dualies. That's the only place where I'm a little not too sure. I see some of these dualies hauling these heavy loads, and I think to myself, they might require a little more maintenance.
When we say maintenance too, we're talking all expenses to the truck.
Oil change alone.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Help me out. I don't know.
So
trailer.
Yeah, but no. You have to look at the unit and the trailer as the same from the maintenance perspective, because they are. You know, you generally don't unmarry a power unit and a trailer, whether you're, you know, doing a dually or you're doing an 80-foot Stinger. So using the mileage that he gave in this video elsewhere and taking the cost against that, I got, let's see, $500 in maintenance per month on 4 800-mile round trips per week, 400 miles out, 400 miles back. Let's just assume that's perfect, or origin, destination, whatever. He ends up with 26 cents per running mile or 52 cents per loaded mile. For a dually, that just seems high. You know, it's not high at all for a high mount car carrier. It's low for an 80-foot Stinger. But for a dually dragging a trailer, that number just seems high.
I don't disagree. Sorry, Kandy, go ahead.
No, I was saying it kind of sounds realistic to me. A lot of the trailers are they changed the 3-car to a 4-car. You got uneven weight dispersal. You got uneven welds that cause the tires to wear unevenly a lot. You got axle change out. A lot of the maintenance and things that they do at home are on their own. It's not the same even maintenance as a lot of the big trucks. With the high rail Stingers, the weight dispersal is a lot better, and you know what your maintenance is. You've got a lot more people. Everybody in a dually doesn't go to Rush or have a maintenance man or mechanic on staff. So a lot of times it does become that, because they're getting bootleg shade tree work done to it, which in turn will have to be repaired again on the next month.
But Kandy, if I'm getting 40 cents a mile on my 80-foot Stinger, carry between 9 and 12, why would I buy a 3-foot wedge that's going to get 26 cents a mile on maintenance? Except for cost, which is a huge number, and I get that.
Yeah. CDL, don't forget.
You never hauled cars before.
Don't forget, this is the non-CDL. These folks don't want a CDL.
Yeah.
Not even that they don't want. I mean, a lot of them
I don't want to get into it. Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to commit the same. Take 10 drivers and ask them that drive. Ask 10 drivers with a dually that have CDLs. Ask them why they go and buy a dually versus getting a semi truck to haul cars, because that number, a lot of the hotshot drivers are experienced car haulers with Class A license, but it's something in the mind that says, I can park this dually at home in my driveway if I don't want to commit to hauling cars. It's this fear of commitment, and that's why they end up in dually trucks, because I can haul a hotshot, I can haul farm equipment. You know, I don't have to worry about not getting this load on this low rail or it being too heavy. So it creates a different option. That mindset alone is just a different option available to people.
And I can understand that, and I can respect that to a point. But the thing of it is, you're stifling your own earnings by making decision.
Big time.
Yeah.
You do, but how can you go into personal decisions at that point?
Oh yeah.
So, and a lot of them, it's a lot of fears. I think even this video is awesome, but it's things like in the coaching and mentoring that should be discussed before even buying the equipment, because the mindset out of a truck driver, of a car hauler most of the time.
You're running
It's drivers that come here afraid to get dirt on them. And I'm like, there's a magazine for him, but they don't want to get dirty, or, oh, I don't touch that. You know how many drivers, oh, I go, why don't you have a jump box? Oh, I don't haul used cars. Well, how the hell you get here then? Because you was hungry. So you did something that you ain't used to doing because you don't want to fail. But you have all these criteria of I don't want's in place already. I'm not doing this. I'm not going here. Oh, I don't go here. I don't do this. Oh, okay. We'll see on the 30th of the month where you go and what you do.
Kandy's looking at through the tie goggles, which is personal. She's seeing what they are not doing, how they're feeling. Kandy is right in that, again, she's seeing it, the personal side of it, just like Ty's explanation when we introduction, which most of us all miss. Because Joe's also right. Joe has a great point. Why would you do it that way? But I didn't think about that. These guys are doing that because it is. You can park it in your driveway. You don't have to have that full commitment. If something goes really bad, I guess you can use your dually for something else. I mean, I know once I buy a 9 car, I'm buying a 9 car, and there's no way out of it. I'm not about to take the tractor up and start, hauling boats with it. I just can't do it. So she's absolutely right with that aspect. And that, again, that's thinking what they're feeling, not just what the numbers are. But again, the numbers don't lie, though. It's eventually going to come to a head.
That's the reason why you look at the numbers. That's the reason why you do that and make assessments. And to Kandy's point, and that's well taken, Kandy. If you sit there and say, I want to have that flexibility, okay, fine. Maybe you got to make a decision to buy a wedge. But alternately, if you want to go whole hog into car hauling, you have that's when you have to cross that line and say, something, if I'm going to pay X dollars per mile for maintenance, maybe I got to make a different decision and go after that Class A.
Maybe that's the key thing, the level of commitment you're going to have to this. Because if I'm going to go into this, I was hoping I was going to get out of this, and I just got something more from Kandy than anything else. Why is it that these guys go for these hot shots? Because I don't get it. In my area, I'm like, they must be doing or knowing something. I've been doing in this business for 20 plus years already, and I do not understand why these guys get these dualies. They're committed to it. The only thing that one guy told me one time was that sometimes, for whatever reason, it's hard for them to get their Class A, or they got to spend too much money to Class A because they can't do it themselves. And that's the quickest way they can get into doing car hauling, because they can use their regular license for X amount of pounds. I'm not sure what that poundage is. So I saw that aspect of it, but Kandy hit on something, that whole thing of not being so committed. I can definitely see that. Guys get scared and they're like, okay, I want to do this, but if it goes wrong, okay, I can do this and or take this pickup and do something else. I just never saw it that way. Because I'm just used to having 9 cars and that's it. That's the way it is, and I'm committed.
I think it just comes. I think about Lionel's next is just that it's the belief that you've got a pickup truck and you can put it to work, and everything else doesn't really matter. I can put my truck to work and make money, and then just switch it up. Cars, air conditioners, logs, chickens. I don't know.
And that's why we call it hot shot and everything.
Hot shot.
Hot shot. Because you're not a car hauler. The commitment, and what we use the words car hauler, the commitment isn't there. A car hauler is a car hauler because it hauls cars. Every now and again, you see them hauling some John Deere lawnmowers or something, but they're usually, you can see it's a new contract, but you don't see a lot of car haulers, with 5 boats on top of the deck, or, commitment.
Which I'm not saying, you're not a real man if you don't haul cars. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But I am saying hot shot. That's why that's why hotshot comes before car hauler.
It's a purpose. All of it serves a beautiful purpose. I think he's communicating to a. I like the video. What I like about it is it's a point of view. You know, it's his point of view. And I don't know if he's a law enforcement or military background, but it sounds like he has some structure and discipline in the way
Yeah,
that
he
he's
does.
communicating
He has
things.
put that, yeah.
Okay, but it's a point of view, and I don't want to offer any negative energy
And
to
it's a
it.
presentation,
Yeah,
right?
it takes time.
It's not
Yeah.
random dude on random side of road
Mhm.
randomly giving random, which I've seen way too much of.
Randomly.
Random, yeah. Okay,
Right.
so yeah.
My own comments and all of that. Again, I agree with pretty much everything everyone said. I think the important point here is, and I think, you know, you get into the end game of this video, and he goes through a lot of very high level stuff, and I think that's good. But unfortunately, car hauling is an industry of details, and unfortunately, there is more that has to be attended to. And what I hope is that his audience will do the diligence. You know, you can see that video and say, all right, I got a high level understanding of what we're doing here. And then you have to be willing to drill down and drill down and drill down. And again, talk to people in this industry and figure out, you know, where you're going to go from here. Because this is what he did, again, was a good video. Presentation was good. I would have shuffled some things around if it were me. That's just me. But there are details here that have to be paid attention to. And I think that there are some things in his video that he did not talk about that could be very detrimental to business. And let's talk about, for example, the FMCSA requirements, DOT requirements, cost of claims, you know, how variable costs affect you, an accountant, how important an accountant is to the overall business. He didn't touch on any of these things. This is not a fault against that video presenter. But if you're going to start a business, you know, you're basically sinking a significant amount of your life into a thing. You best be ready for it. He didn't talk about the cost of receivables, the things you have to go through to be able to collect receivables. What happens when receivables are uncollectible?
Oh man.
What do you do?
Wow, yeah.
How do you handle
We're
that?
so far off the map now of making money. Yeah. This gets into Ty's story. Yeah, no, it is.
But
It's real.
so right though.
Yeah, it is.
It's real.
So
Listen,
true, man.
if I can
Let's
add one thing to what Joe
bringing
just
up
said,
some painful memories.
yeah, this car
You're
hauling
welcome.
industry, yeah, this whole thing is a craft. It's not just a thing that you get into. People jump into this thinking that they're just gonna pick up on it. It is a craft, like plumbing, being an electrician. But unfortunately, we don't have any schools for this. We don't have anything structured to train these guys and to get guys out there. That's why really the new generation aren't getting into the car hauling industry, because they see all this work. They're like, why am I going to do this? I don't even know how to do this. You know, back in the day, you know, you had some kind of training, you know, you also didn't get into the industry unless somebody passed away or retired. And that's how you got into it. But this industry, the car hauling is a craft. There's so many dynamics that if you don't know, they're going to make your life harder. Somebody can get hurt. And at the end of the day, you know, it could just all come crumbling down.
Yeah, just like Joe was saying, man, that the holding your money up, that'll cost you 25% right there. If somebody told you they're going to pay you in 5 days, you're waiting 45 days for that money.
Stressing.
And that matters when you're trying to buy tires.
Yeah.
Blue. Whatever. And yeah, that matters.
Yeah, that is a reality. That's real there.
All right, here we go. Let's go do some more. We did good. Boy, we got
$150. So if you had to get 2 tires on a fuel pump, you didn't make a profit that week. So the way that you make the profit is Number one, you factor in all your expenses, right? So now, let's go to number two. The second part of how to be successful is brokers, what they do is they put the absolute lowest possible rate on the board. So how could you get a fair rate if you don't know what the brokers are charging the customers? I'm going to help you with that. So number two, you have to call a minimum of 5 brokers, and you want to say, hey, act like you're a customer. Hey, I got a 2018 Nissan Altima going from Atlanta to Memphis. What would that rate be? Well,
Okay, all right, let's just stop there for a second. I like the idea of calling brokers, or at least I like the idea of knowing what the broker charged the shipper. But I have a feeling that brokers are savvy enough to know when a driver is calling in to figure out and fish.
Sometimes.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the driver might have somebody calling in and fishing, but I'll be quiet because this is my part. I ain't said nothing the whole time because the Fruit Loops, this is my part. And I hope a whole lot of rookies see this part.
Well, all right, so should I hit play or do we have anything to say?
Wait, one little thing I want to add on that.
Yeah.
Meaning to throw in there. There's one thing that happens too when these guys start out. The first 2 years, you're a new enterprise, everything is higher. Your insurance is, like, for example, that $2,000 rate that he's getting for insurance on a dually, that's his 2-year probably rate that he gets, everybody gets for being a new enterprise. I'm not paying that for my 9-car haulers. Okay, that just shows you the big difference too, on what he's paying for a hot shot as opposed to what I'm paying for a 9-car. But again, I've been in business for a long time. But the first 2 years, all these poor guys, anybody who's starting this is brutal.
I know.
And some carriers won't even take you on if you don't have at least 2 years.
Well, that's
experience.
the other part. If you're brand new, it doesn't matter if you can find out what the broker charged the shipper because you can't get signed up anyways. Who cares?
I can't hire a driver without 2 years of experience over the road for a company piece of equipment right now. That's the state of insurance today.
Yep.
You know what it is, Ty? I had too much humor. I got to cut that out, Ty.
No, this is good. I'm really enjoying this, and I mean that.
I'm having a pretty. I think this is an amazing reaction show happening here.
I'm going from Nashville to Boston, whatever route you run, call 5 brokers, and then you'll see. Because I've called, and from Atlanta to Memphis, they're charging $600 to $630 on average. Then they'll put the car on the board for $300. Now, these brokers are sitting home eating Fruit Loops with their mother in a basement with no overhead. So don't let them dictate your business. All right, so that's what you have to do next.
Line in the
Call a
entire
minimum
video.
of 5 brokers.
Best line.
Next.
But I just again want to say I'm super impressed by the notion of finding out what the broker charged the shipper, because once you find out that number and you get sick of staring at the load boards, maybe you'll go get a customer. Now, I'm not saying that's easy. Yes, Joe.
Now, before Kandy goes off on this, I know she's got, but I'm going to say this. There's a lot that goes into the way that brokers put loads together. I know you're a brokerage as well.
Yeah.
What goes into this? And if you knew the number of times that we lost money on loads, it'd make your heart. So that's a really important point.
It's real.
We operate on a law of averages, and that's a tough situation. The other thing is the notion that some person is living in a basement playing Dungeons and Dragons and doing nothing else but sending out loads. It's hilarious, but also ridiculous. Brokerages are highly professional, highly organized set of organizations. If you decide that you're going to hook yourself up to a brokerage, the most important thing is to build a relationship. By far, if you're going to set yourself up with another carrier that you're going to run alongside with, build that relationship. By far, you can't diminish these people because you want to think of them as some sort of subhuman. Not acceptable. That's not the path to making money.
And not to mention, that's how the dealer talks about the carrier. That's how the auction guy might talk about the carrier. That's certainly how the carrier talks about the dispatcher. Correct. And when I say customer, half the time I do mean relationship. So thank you.
Yeah, it's very important. You have to build you as a carrier and the broker that you work with. That relationship, very important, because that broker is at some point going to start looking out for you. At least that's how we work. And Kandy, I'm going to shut up now and let you go off because I know you can.
I'll make it quick. Well, my thing is, I didn't like the Fruit Loop joke. It was funny. It was funny for a second, but I didn't like it. Okay, because it was disrespectful to brokers. Put some respect on their name. Your truck is moving because of brokers. A lot of drivers are envious of brokers because they haven't did the homework, the legwork, the research, the recon to be a broker. And not to say that all brokers are amazing, but it's more work done into it than a lot of the carriers are putting into establishing their business. So why hate on them because they did their job? They're doing their job. It's a craft and they're mastering their craft. So if a driver master, I don't think that brokers would be so prominent if carriers were great carriers. Because if a carrier is a great carrier, then you won't need a broker to get your work. So put some respect on their name.
Yeah,
Because
no,
the brokers is a whole lot of relationships that are feeding us all. So like it or not, put some respect on their name and don't try and take the work away from them. Don't cheat, don't deceive. I had 3 situations, where drivers were shading the broker. They didn't even know the broker is a broker that I respect and we work for a long-standing working relationship. So while you're dogging their cars out, throwing the cars around, trying to figure out what they make and all this and that, that same broker is somebody's relationship. That's ours. They feed us. So if you don't respect it, just walk away. But don't shade them. I don't like that.
Well, by the way, that's another reason they hate us, Ty, is we let brokers on this show.
We sure do.
A broker can teach
For a reason.
a carrier how to be great. A good broker, a broker relationship can teach a carrier how to be great. You can name names all day, but they didn't get to be those names, those brokers, from not being great, from not spending. It's not just about spending money on leads. That's just one small facet of brokerage and relocation. But you have sales reps, just like any other industry, any other business that goes out to create relationships, dynamics, eye to eye. Footprints so that they're comfortable, and drivers have the same opportunity, but don't be doing it to somebody else, customer and client. That's my thing. Don't have to take from somebody else to get yours.
Ding that bell twice, Jay. She said relationship twice.
Bang.
It's disrespectful, and it happens a lot. I just look, I go, wow, this is a great company that actually could spend some money on marketing and advertisement and do what they want as a carrier without soliciting brokers' relationships. So a lot of our clients deal with us because we respect relationships.
Step 3.
By the way,
your goal is $125 per.
Oh, there we go. By the way.
No, I'm really extrapolating on that. A good broker and the relationship that a broker will have to a carrier. A good broker will sit there and start looking for loads to support that carrier because a good broker will start to learn the patterns that that carrier wants to run.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's the money train. Everybody makes money. Who ain't smiling at the end of that? So
somebody's jealous.
That's the key. That's the key. You can't, a good broker, make that relationship a good broker, and man, everything else starts to, and that ain't quick. It takes time.
You're talking about you ordered room service.
Okay. Check. All right.
You didn't hit the mute.
Well, I tried to. Oh, you know what? No, you know what? Here's what's funny. I did hit the mute, but the audience can't hear it, but you guys can.
Oh, okay,
That's
great.
I know. That's how my I don't
Very
because I don't
pretty.
man, I
Oh,
don't have a
wait.
Good
super
thing.
studio. You're
What
talking
should
to
we
Joe.
tell
No.
the
All right.
audience we heard?
Yeah, what do we don't
The
tell
bidding
them.
starts at
Whoa.
$10,000.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
hour that you're in your truck. So let's say I load, and let's just say I'm in Atlanta, and I load 3. Let's say I'm going up to Richmond, Virginia, which is a 400 and some odd mile trip. You got to look at it like how long does it take for you to get your cars? If you're getting 3 cars in Atlanta, it's going to take you 5 hours. So if I start at 8 in the morning, I'm getting loaded by noon, right? Then that drive will be another 7-hour drive, right? So that's a 12. That's a roughly a 12-hour day, 11 to 12 hours. So if I make $1,400, that's a good day. But if I make $900, I made less money than what it took for me to ride in that trip. I didn't even make $100 an hour, and you will be out of business in 4 months. I've talked to so many guys that I'm not making a profit because they're not charging enough. All right, so next, the last step in this is number 4. Don't be desperate. This is how brokers operate, guys. So let's say you see a car on the board going
Pause
from,
it.
let's say it's a 400-mile trip.
I'm a grammar Nazi.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I can't see it. Let me see.
Don't be disparate. The definition of the term
Oh, I see it.
disparate means different or unlike anything else.
Uh-huh.
Desperate,
Right.
D-E-S-P-E-R. It's a very different word.
Yeah.
Get what they're saying.
I know.
And I apologize.
Well, we
It's
gotta
nitpicking.
and that's the thing is we're gonna let it go, but I know. Well, this is again, Ty, I think that this is why another section doesn't like ATI because we get so darn detailed.
Problem is this. On YouTube, people look at 15-second clips of the video.
Yeah.
And that shows up. And some number of people are going to say, whatever. You know,
I don't know.
It defeats the positive purpose of this guy's video. And that's a shame.
Well, it is. Well, and that's the. It is. It's a. Just keep going.
And a broker will put the car on there for $400. So you take it for $400. Next week, they're going to put it on there for $375. Because remember, the low board absolutely hurt the trucking game because now a broker can go out and say, let me see if there's an uneducated, uninformed driver who will take this load cheap. So they'll put it on the board for $275. Nobody takes it in 3 or 4 hours. They'll raise it up.
That's the problem is that by not being disparate, that's exactly what the broker is noticing is that you're so disparate that you might be the one to haul my cheap freight. That's where we're at, right? All right. All right, we're going to just keep going.
Up to 300, but then some desperate person will take it for 300. They say, oh, I got it moved for 300. So then the next week, they're going to put it on there for 275. They're like, we had a desperate person for 300. So you can't be that desperate person. When you move your truck, guys, it has.
But again, I want to say this. He's absolutely 100%. You can't be desperate. You can't. That is a killer. This is a poker game. And when you, right? You're going to get hammered on the river, man.
Again, in the beginning, though, I can see how these guys get desperate. When you've been doing it long enough, you know when to hold your cards. You know when to stay back, let it pass. Because you know it's going to come around to you when they realize the other guy wasn't able to service it because you underbid, and they're going to call you back again and be like, all right, listen, can we do something? But again, unfortunately, these guys in the beginning, just the way he's seeing it, he's not off. He's right. Guys get desperate because they're thinking, oh my God, I just started this. I need to, I need to see more cars. I need to see, this is not going, the way they're saying it's going. But, once you've been in the game for a while, and again, you have that buffer and you've done your homework, and you realize, all right, well, you know what, let me take a step back. I won't do it. I won't take it for that cheap rate. But before then, really, everybody's in that desperate mode in the beginning.
Well, so in a way, what he says with his misspelling is actually correct.
Real. Wow.
Because He says don't be desperate, and he means desperate. But what you must be is disparate and be different from those who will fall for that trap.
Yeah.
And so
Boom,
then
there goes the dynamite.
overall, overall, what was not mentioned, it was just assumed that you're gonna be able to gross 20 grand a month from the load boards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's that
Good luck with
assumption?
that.
How's that assumption? Is it okay?
Good
No.
luck.
Whoa.
Good luck. Yeah. There's no way. You know how many stars would have to line up to have that happen? Even
Yeah.
in 1 month? You know, it can't. You know, you'd have to have somebody who's consistently looking at 10 boards for you, just eyeing everything 24 hours a day to make sure something like that could happen for you.
That was not part of his fixed cost. It was not there. So
Right.
That's
And
right.
it sounds
Even the
to me,
load board costs.
sounds to me he didn't use logistics in his picking up cars either, because if I'm
Yeah.
picking up cars, I'm going to consolidate my time factors on when I'm getting the cars to make sure that I'm getting out of there at a quicker period of time than 5 hours to pick up 3 cars. I'm either picking up at the auction, or I'm picking up 2 cars from the auction and maybe one from a dealership, and taking that into consideration before I, use that in my time.
So
that,
now
that
you've got
sounds to me like
now
that
you've got
sounds to me an awful lot like a personal experience at a Copart or something like that.
So you've got your central dispatch fee, you've got your car puller fees, you've got your dispatcher fees. Those are just the ones that, right? I just thought. I mean, because if you're at 20K a month, you're humming at such a high RPM. You're definitely spending other money.
Yeah. Food on the road.
Oh, food. Oh my God. If you're not eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and bringing them with you, and you're there's no way. There goes the big hole you have in eating out. That is a big, you're talking, Jesus, you're talking at least $50 a day if you're eating 3 meals a day.
Wow. There's a lot here. Okay.
A lot here. We have, there's way
It has
more
to make
here.
sense. All right, guys, so these are my 4 tips to help you to be successful in auto hauling. If you like this video, guys, share it, comment. If there's anything else you want me to talk about in trucking, please put that in the comment section. And stay safe on those roads and get the maximum amount of money, because trucks ain't cheap. Love you guys.
Again, overall, I think we all agree that this is a good video, and I just want to make sure that's clear. Just go ahead and look at some of the comments. Great video. Good to see an honest video. There's 4.33 weeks in the calendar. Oh, no,
Switching was easy with AAA insurance.
No. Let's see. Awesome tips. Great
Yeah,
breakdown.
even Jay gets ads.
You don't have to take the rate posted on the load board. Never take cheap freight. Great video. Wow. Can't wait for your next video. Does anyone use Central? I purchased a lot of inventory that needs to be transported, and I post all of it on Central. Get a lot of owner operators calling to accept the load. Also gives you 4 to 5 previous loads facilitated. Good info, buddy. Great insightful video. Very informative. Very informative. Great advice. Thank you. Once you can negotiate a higher rate, do you ever have a problem collecting since the cheaper rate is what was posted? Does interstate calling earn you more? Let's see. Man, great video, great video. People love this video.
That's because it opened a lot of eyes, and he hit on some different things that sparked different people's thoughts on it. That central dispatch comment right there, I don't like I don't like comments like that, because it leads a group right there in that direction. So Central has become an educational tool for car haulers, new entries, all kinds of people. Even having those columns on there that show the rate, like oh, somebody moved this junk for that price last week. So automatically it stops them from thinking and doing their numbers to see if it's realistic. They go, oh, he did it. Let me just follow him. So you end up with a group of ducks just following each other into oblivion, into car hauler oblivion, because you saw it on a central dispatch video. So now that's your new business model. The way I don't like it is because for me and my business personally, they come preach it down my throat like I'm supposed to change my prices because you didn't know your price. Don't use central dispatch as a single teaching tool to learn this business.
So one could argue that he did a great job of making another great video to make you think about many other things other than the compare button on Central.
But that's somebody who's looked at, I always think about the new, people who are looking to get into it, the phone calls that we get, somebody with the money ready to jump in, looking at just a couple of videos. Like you say, this is probably closest to a training school or a platform that there is for different points of views. So you can get all of that even right here in this moment. Look, I mean, Joe, he's like math on math on math. And you get all of that. Those are the dynamics that's important. And I know the viewership is going to change. I believe it will when continually integrating those into this arena. Not just the experience, the OGs, the dealers, but continually keeping the drivers, new entry, not just new entries, not just hot shots, but just keeping new eyes, coming in asking questions where they feel safe asking questions.
Andy, ironically, although you say I'm math on math on math, I was actually an English major in college. So
yeah, I know Desperate broke you down then. I tried to overlook it, my OCD kick in like that too. But I'm the worst texter ever, so it's an oxymoron. So I just have to tone it down.
But I think the key here is that it was a good, smart video. He stood it out well. But there are things that are more that he missed that I think really needed to be called out. Talk to an accountant. I mean, you're not going to run a successful business without someone who understands tax laws and how to manage your books in your home state.
Mm-hmm.
That has got to be number one on any entrepreneur's priority sheet, is to get your hands around a good accountant, because all the revenue in the world, if you not keep track of it, it'll sink you. It's very important. Understand your local laws, ELD, operating authority, all these things. I cannot tell you how many times I have had to deny a load to somebody because something was broken on the DOT side, whatever it was. Many times it's fixed in a day, sometimes not. And in my case, if I'm shipping new OEM business and that regulatory aspect is not covered, the liability falls on me. That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, you really have to get your hands around that. A lot of the rest of this business, a lot of the rest of this video was good. I would have organized it differently. That's okay. But I think that shuffling some things around, understanding those big key costs, and getting into things like claims and receivables and all that.
Well, what would be cool, maybe he'll watch this and then make an updated version. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's any chance.
More energy,
but that'd be pretty cool.
I think he'll put more energy, because if he, it probably took, Jay, better than anybody.
It's a ton of time.
Probably took him an hour, 2, 3. I mean, even if he's good at that, to still break that down into 7 minutes.
Right.
You know, him, and I don't know how long he's been in the business, but it seems like he's somebody who's working, like educating himself along the way also, and not just talking and at a standstill. You know, it seems like it'll be knowledge, ongoing knowledge, like he would share.
It's not
new
random,
knowledge.
dude. Random. All right, hey, you know, we're about to wrap this up. I say we go ahead, since, you know, we're kind of in the this is like the teacher's lounge. Can we give grades? I'll just go first. I think what I'll do is I'll just
What kind of scale are we looking at?
like, you know, think of like grades like A, B, C stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and give it like a B plus, A minus. Okay. Anybody?
I'll give it an A.
Great.
I'll give it a plus, because you have to cover the details, like Joe was saying. That is so important to you know, to get down in the weeds, or even make mention of it, to because people get unrealistic venues about what it is that something's going to cost, and 3 months later they're broke.
What was the grade again, Lionel?
C plus.
C plus.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
My grade was not on accuracy, it was on initiative, effort, insight.
I like it. That's what's cool. That's what grades are subjective. Anybody?
Did you get my B plus?
B plus. B plus, says Ron. Thank you.
Hold on, Joe. Here we go. Let me get
What's
ready.
Joe? Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be a teacher.
Joe, what kind of teacher is Joe? He's the English teacher. Let me
stuck
get
in that
ready.
word.
Because I probably didn't pass his class.
Ty didn't go either. Ty.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah.
Joe's still writing.
You gotta look at Joe's eyes when he give his grade, because
Lost a little
he's
on
about to break this down.
Lost a little on the grammar, but no, solid B. You know,
that's good.
His mentality is good. The first thing he said in the video was assess your costs, and I appreciate that. He missed some costs. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, there's the two things out of that video that I thought that would have enhanced it would be, number one, talk to an accountant, you know, get a better view of some of the other pictures. Number two, talk to other people, people in the business, because he's coming at this from the standpoint of, this is how I've dealt with things. Man, you don't know what you don't know in car.
And here, I'll tell you what, on the accountant, and historically, how long has he been running to achieve such numbers?
Unknown.
We have no idea.
What lane did he run? Did he run mix? I mean, was he special?
Exactly. We have no.
Is he paying himself? Is he not?
Oh, and this is where Ty, back to you, buddy. How much does he pay himself?
I'm gonna give the guy a solid B, and here's why. Because Jay and I do videos all the time, and I'm the guy that I never go really back and watch any videos, but I always think, man, if anybody watches that and they know, I mean, they can completely make fun of me all day long. So just the fact that the guy took the time, yeah, exactly. See my point. So just the fact that he put it together, solid B. I've never done one of these before, so I've really enjoyed this. What I really enjoy, here's what I really love. I've sat here quiet and I've just watched Ron, I watched Kandy, I listened to Joe and Lionel and Jay, and I get so emotional about what is really happening here. This is so beautiful. I mean, what we're doing, guys, and people don't want to hear this, but I'm telling you, what we're doing, what ATI with this group, these people, I've sent people to Joe, I've sent people to Lionel, I've sent people to Ron, I've sent people to Kandy. I send people all the time. I talk to the people that are listening to this video. Do you get that? I talk to them every day. And these are conversations that are real. So the guy gets a solid B from me. He did it. Okay. There's plenty of things we could be really crazy, right? And I could take that. But yeah, Jay, back to what you're saying. So how much are you paying yourself? And what's that? You know, where's that number in there? And anyway, I like what what we're doing. I love the input. I've watched this entire show just from a viewer perspective, listening to you guys. And you've been very gracious. You've been very kind. You're very passionate about this industry. And that's what makes this group, I say group, but really community. In my opinion, that's what really brings this together. We're not here to bash. We're here to elevate. I mean, I start thinking about ACV. Why did ACV come to ATI? They needed carriers. I mean, we're not pumping out stuff that is going to have a company like ACV say, wait a minute, you guys sent us the worst batch of carriers on planet Earth. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to tell you the truth. There is zero easy about this. I made a lot of money with my 20 trucks, and I made a lot of friends, and I did all kinds of fun things. Don't get me wrong. This business has been very good to me. Okay. It's been very good to Joe. It's been very good to Ron. It's been very good to Kandy, Lionel, Jay. This business has a lot of potential, and there are so many things changing right now, guys, that now is the time to seriously pay attention. So pump the brakes if you're not sure. If you haven't bought a truck, hang on. Call anybody in here. Call me first. I can put you in touch with who you need to talk to. I'm not sitting here asking for $99 a month. Jay's not asking for $99 a month. We are here to help the industry as a whole. Thank you and have a good night.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
This has been a really great first video review. We're definitely going to be doing this again sometime. I try to space out, when we come back and do something. But yeah, this is like this kind of show took the place of like Wheel O Topics. When's the last time we did Wheel O Topics? It's been like a year. Because what I've learned is there's other things that we can do. So thank you all so much for being a part of the show tonight. I really appreciate it. And I second what Ty said. I mean, you all are part of the core of ATI. So thank you so much for your time and participation.
Thank you for the commitment.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks for the super chat, Ron. Ron
Bye,
is
guys.
cooking it up in the super chat. Thank you, guys. It's hard to let you go.
We miss you already.
I know. I miss you already. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
Good night, Joe and Ron.
And cut. That's a cut.
Do I hang up or
It's a wrap.
That's a cut. Okay, so I let him go. All right, so there we go. And thank you so much. Ron shook it up in the super chat. Thank you so much. JT, great discussion, guys. Another awesome show. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Well, that was one of the main goals is to try to get this right. And I think we did pretty good. I really want the maker of the video to watch this show and think that was, fair and balanced and, hopefully more. But we applaud. I would hit the applause button on this video. It is so much better than so many of the other videos I've seen. There are some other good ones out there, but there are some terrible ones out there. Great job. Got great grades from everybody too. I'd say the average grade for this video is probably like a B+, and really that is good. And I like how Ty pointed out that, man, it is hard just to make a video. You are, boy, oh boy, are you, you're asking for it, and you got a lot of great feedback and stuff. So thank you so much for posting the video, and thank you all for watching and staying tuned. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much for your super chat contribution. Speaking of, I just want to thank everybody in the live chat, and especially in the super chat. Thank you so much, Seaport Service and Chris Chamberlain and Mark Grodicke and Ron at NYC. Thank you so much for those super chats. Thank you, Murphy Auto Transport Services, Superflow Systems, also Rapid Recon and Location Services. We got a great show coming up next Tuesday night. We've got Rapid Recon on the show, and actually Friday we have independent dealers. We're collaborating with Used Car News, NIADA, and ATI on Friday on Cars on the Move, and also in a couple weeks at NIADA in Las Vegas. Independent dealers are a big part of automotive, so we're going to be talking to them on Friday. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. This was an extremely long show. That's ATI. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. My name is Jay. We'll see you soon. No show tomorrow. No show Thursday. Back on Friday. Thank you so much. Let us know how we can help you. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And you can text Ty. I'll just text it 417-483-2764. And he means it. If you want to talk to somebody else other than Ty, he'll patch you right through. He's the operator. He works in operations. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Peace out. Thank you.